everyone, welcome back for episode 3 of our Kickstarter series campaign of Misspent Youth, Fall in Love, Not in Line. I'm Rem, and I'm here with my wonderful cast here. Derekah couldn't make it couldn't make it this episode, but we love her and she'll be back next week. So, Shay, why don't we start with you? Why don't you introduce yourself and what you do, and let's do a quick roundsy, and then talk about the Kickstarter, and then start playing.
Okay, I gotta talk really quick. Hello, my name is Shay, and I do board game things, and I do like RPG things, and I can do this, and sometimes I don't. That's me.
I love you so much. Opti, who are you?
I am Opti. Do things like host the Neo-Anarchist podcast, and I'm the showrunner for Shadowrun Origins. I'm a player in lots of stuff that Cliff does, that Cliff will mention. And I founded Fragging Unicorns Games,
Woo!
which is doing a Kickstart thing right now for its game called Misspent Youth.
And if you think that name is as cool as I do, you can get your very own Fraggy the Fragging Unicorns t-shirt.
Hey!
That's a dope-ass short.
Where do you get one of these, Opti?
You can go to fraggingunicorns.com and click on the store, and it'll pop up. And there's a very handsome gentleman wearing a black version of that, and there's a keen-looking woman wearing the version that Sarah has on.
I really enjoyed, by the way, that the green in the shirt showed up on the chroma, so it was extra magical from the transparent mane of the unicorn.
Excellent.
And Cliff, who are you?
Hi, I'm Cliff, Clifton Lambert, my writer nom de plume. I'm also known as Mr. Johnson of the Arcology Podcast. I'm the lead writer for the next Misspent Youth book, Fall in Love, Not in Line. I also write for Shadowrun and a few other role-playing games, and sometimes I do podcasts and streams. I believe Opti mentioned he does things with me, like Legends of Earthdawn is an actual play about Earthdawn. I've got Arcology Podcast, which has lots of episodes about playing Shadowrun, how to play Shadowrun, and actual plays of Shadowrun, like hundreds of hours of stuff. I guess I've been kind of busy over the years. But yeah, now I'm here to be the authority for the next episode of our Misspent Youth game, and hopefully we'll see that 15K stretch goal hit real soon.
Hey!
We're creeping up on it, because I want to be involved in having a Robert Bowl have a setting chapter in our book, and that's our next stretch goal, and that's definitely one worth stretching for.
That would be really cool. Awesome. Well, we are here. The past week has been kind of busy for Opti and Clifton with interviews and articles popping out. So, tell us about what kind of media and press the game's been getting in the past week or so.
Last night we were in the UK as part of a press tour, and it was Jess on the non-D&D show, or not D&D show. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. One of those two is right. And that was on Ian World's Twitch channel, and we had a really great time. Me and Opti and Jess was talking about the stuff we talked about, mostly Misspent Youth, but other gaming topics as well.
That's super cool. It was a fun one. There was some laughs in that one. So it's on the bottom of the Kickstarter page. You can check it out there. What else has come out in the past week or so? I know there's been a few articles.
Cliff was on the D20 Future Show a few days ago, and then almost a week ago, I think the Me and Steve Talk RPGs interview came out, and there's been a couple articles on Ian World. Am I missing something?
Oh, yeah. My favorite one was the comment from Gail.
Oh, Gail Simone, yeah. We sent her a bunch of free stuff last year, and now she gives us free press because she's fragging awesome. I just this morning released an episode of Shadowrun Origins, which is our long-standing actual play for Shadowrun 6th edition, where we play through all the classic adventures from 1st and 2nd edition of Shadowrun. We took a pause last week and we played Misspent Youth in the Shadowrun universe as if we were teenagers in a Detroit high school, Aries City High, and it was in 2048. So it's actually sort of a prequel to first edition Shadowrun, and it went really, really well. We had a really great time with it, and probably going to use some of those characters and concepts and things that happened and sort of, move it into the show and have it affect things in the greater show. But that was really fun. That released today. So.
Neat. Is there a link to that? We should get that on the Kickstarter too.
Yeah, I get you.
Yay! But what really brings us here today is we want more for the Kickstarter, like stretch goals. So thank you for your support. Please go to www.remalternis.com/misspentyouth and help us to get to that next stretch goal level, which is 15,000. And we get that chapter from Robert Bull. We've got other stretch goals too. At 20,000, we have another writer come in, correct?
Yes. And you put me on the spot. And
surprise!
Give me one second. Dominic Dickey. Yes, Dominic Dickey is going to be writing for us at 20K. And Dominic has done work for D&D and for Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Sea of Legends, and some Monty Cook game stuff. So they're pretty impressive. Their resume is pretty impressive. So I'm
super cool.
Looking forward to having him on.
Awesome.
So if we get to 20K today, that'd be great by the time the stream ends. Bless.
Yes, that'd be amazing. And then there's even more stretch goals beyond that. But
yes,
I want to play some Misspent Youth.
Word.
So who remembers what happened last week when we got together and wants to fill in our lovely audience?
So, we finally got the school taken care of. We had the Big Sandwich. Big Sandwich came up and they sponsored us. And then we were trying to figure out the next plan. And so we was trying to get that demonetization gone. And so we started that. There's first a fight because they thought that Char was just this uppity person. But we tried to stop that. And then we went to a shelter, like an encampment. And then that stupid old principal that I don't even want to say his name. Him. He came with bulldozer trying to bring him off, and then we all try to help. Very much convincing from Goldenboy by melting everybody into the ground. But we got that going, and they left. And then they tried to get Panda and Truce to go into the happy place. And we was like, no. And we stopped that, but then me and Char ended up going to the happy place. And the other two tried to save us, and it didn't work. So we're all in the happy place.
That's right. The re-education center or something like that.
Yeah, re-education center. The
failed rescue ends up in everybody being captured.
Yep.
They're like, oh, you saved us a trip of coming to collect you. We're so glad you're here.
That's how I fear all of my brave noble attempts will go, in real life, where I'm like, ooh, I want to stand up to the man. Oh, they're gonna get me. I'm just gonna walk up and hand myself over.
Yeah. You're probably right.
All right, so
doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, though.
True. True.
So that's the basic recap. As far as systems of control and authority figures goes and exploits, I think at the end of the last one you destroyed one system of control, and Char sold out rich to profligate by having the Breacher Collective steal all of their parents' money, and put it in accounts they can't touch, but that Char can, to I guess bribe a bunch of lawjacks, and now you've got the exploit of lawjack traitors. There are traitors among the lawjacks who are willing to stick their necks out to help you out. And you also have the exploit of the Breacher Collective, which is the sort of underground network of computer hackers. Which system of control did you destroy? Was it demonetization?
I don't think we actually destroyed it. I think we just got the exploit.
No, because you did something and then Char got the extra thing by selling out.
Yeah.
So,
Did we?
Yeah, we got two.
To remind you of the systems of control and authority figures that this authority starts with, we would have meta book demonetization in the new high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the authority figures, we have the high school principal, the rich YO's parents, and the logic captain.
We got rid of Strickland.
No, you didn't.
We didn't?
I believe you actually got rid of Char's parents.
Oh,
yeah.
They're destroyed now.
Right.
Their life is wrecked, and Char's got all their money. So.
Yep, that's what happened.
And I believe.
And then I started using all that money inside the facility, and got some lawjacks on our side, and maybe planted the seeds for prison riot or something.
You think we'd remember destroying your parents' lives, but you know.
I definitely do. Then in the first episode, you won and you destroyed the system of control of the new high school. The high school still exists, but it's not King Corps anymore. So on the big scoreboard, the campaign level scoreboard here, we have the authority has metabook, demonetization, Principal Strickland, and the Lawjack Captain as their systems of control and authority figures. Balanced against that are your two exploits, the Breacher Collective and the Lawjack Traders. If you ever have more exploits than the total number of those four, now down to 4 bad things, you win the campaign. If any one of you sells out your last conviction, before that happens, you lose the campaign. And of course, if we end this run of episodes before getting to one of those things, we'll wrap it up one way or another. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of hoping we'll actually get to a real campaign ending during the stream. We'll see. We'll see. It might not be enough episodes to cover them all. There anything else that anyone wants to add or refresh our memories about?
I don't think so. Other than, let's see, my character sold out to profligate, right? That's the only thing that I think.
He sold out rich to profligate. And all right, so I'm basically, remember last time I had added to the playtest document, I'm essentially just going to go over the last, the section I added because it's sort of the formula for coming up with new episodes from now on. And I think it should work out. But let's see. We in the prep for that in the document, it mentions to do a recap. We sort of did that already.
Yeah.
So with that out of the way, let's go with the first friendship question of the episode. Who would like to do one? To ask one?
Let's see. Who do we have here? Jay, what character were you?
Jay?
Actually, yeah, before we do any of that, why don't you each introduce your character real quick?
All right, I'll go first.
Not like the whole list of convictions, just a quick 1 or 2 sentence thing.
Char Salem, a non-binary 15-year-old, wears lots of gray and hoodies, and also is rich and magical.
Go ahead.
And I am Shay, who's playing Jace, aka Goldenboy. He is a chill, little uptight person who likes neatness and order, and who doesn't know how he gonna get neatness and order from other people, especially his friends.
And I am distracted because I just saw in the chat that Billy Berserker said, I had a big hot number 2 for lunch. So that derailed everything else. I'm playing Panda, who is a hacker breacher and is a 12-year-old boy that looks like he's 9. 14-year-old boy that looks like he's 9. And is having existential crises about all the terrible in the world. So let's continue and see how that goes.
Okay, yeah, we'll set the scene then. I guess if any of you players wanted to follow along, we're on page 26 of the playtest document under setting the scene. So, a few questions. How much time has passed since the previous episode? Where are the youthful offenders? I think we know the answer to that one. What are they doing? I guess let's pick the scene where you're all together for some reason and start out the first 5 seconds of that and move into free play. But yeah, I think the first question, though, one worth asking is how much time has passed since the previous episode? How long have you now been in the detention center? Days, months, a year?
Knowing us, it's been a couple weeks.
A couple weeks sounds good to me. Yeah, a year would be quite a bit of a stretch, but I mean, we could do it. We could do it, but it's been a couple of weeks. And it's probably been rough. You probably had some time in solitary, I guess. So what's the scene going to be when you're?
Should we do the friendship question first?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. We need to do the friendship question. I interrupted that. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna push the limits of narrative comfortability because we didn't do because I don't remember ever doing a session 0 with Shay, but I'm gonna put trust out there into the universe and
okay.
Char is addressing Goldenboy. Are we still in a romantic relationship?
Oh. Are we still in a romantic?
Personal feelings about how you answer that. I just thought it would be neat to introduce that question.
So again, to be fair, you can lean into this. You can add a twist to it, or you can essentially reject it by answering differently. Like, what makes you think we were ever in a romantic relationship? You know. That is a valid response as well. So while he's putting you on the spot, it is also the question is completely under his control, but the answer is under yours.
Okay.
And these aren't again, just for those who are watching, these aren't actually answered, like by the characters. The characters don't necessarily know this information.
Imagine them in like a special interview scene during the reality TV show or whatever. Then they cut back, like in The Office, right?
That's a good way to think about it, Cliff. I like that.
All right, give me like a couple of seconds to narrate this.
I love how Shay goes to.
Or maybe they had a thing in the 2 weeks that passed in between episodes. I'm sorry, I should shut up. I wrote in the rules that unless somebody asks for ideas,
GM, shut up.
Right? So I'm going to follow my own rule now.
Okay, so I think the attraction came when you saw a practice of me doing magic. I think that's where it stemmed from. I think you were too overbearing, though. I think we are just two different people. You was concerned about you got money and you didn't really see society the way I seen it, especially during the time that an event happened. So I think it was probably because we were being in middle school, probably like a late middle school little fling that we had over the summer. And then we got to high school. And before high school, I might have said something like, I think we should see other people, or I think I'm not in a good place right now. Something like none of those lines. So I think that's what happened. Yes.
Cool. I want to dig in and ask more questions, but that is a friendship question. So let's set the scene. Where are y'all at? What you doing? The environment and the sensations, or what's going on?
I feel like we're together during rec time, out in the yard with chain link fence and barbed wire at the top and.
Oh, you get your mandatory 30 minutes of outside playtime.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I like it. And it's great because they have like a whole bunch of motivational things on the walls, like you can succeed in our society, and it has like kids just smiling, like yay! It is a whole bunch of those posters just around.
Yep, there's definitely that kitten one to hang in there. That's gotta be there.
Hang in there. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So yeah, you're all sort of together, hanging out in the yard. There's exercise equipment around. There's sunlight, though it's a bit overcast, a little chilly, and there's not too many other people out here too. There's maybe a dozen or so total kids being carefully watched by the detention monitors, i.e., prison guards. Yeah, what are you talking about?
This sucks.
You haven't seen each other for almost 2 weeks.
Oh, we're kept separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This sucks a lot.
Jace is quiet. Jace is just stone face right now. I feel like, yeah, Jace is just, you say that, and Jace just looks at you as he probably doing lifting some weights, probably a couple of reps in the bells. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Jace,
you said.
It's been so long since we've been apart this long. It's not since junior high when you ghosted me when you broke up with me. Good times.
I'm just like I am pushing. I'm probably doing a couple more reps, like quicker. Like, supposed to do it, but I'm doing it. I'm like, to bring in our relationship. And I go back into. I'm trying not to be.
Turn to Panda and just wink because I think that was the funniest thing, just making Jace uncomfortable.
How's Panda feeling?
It's not hard to make him uncomfortable. Panda is almost going through withdrawal from not having a screen, twitchy fingers, and which kind of reminds him of Char a little bit, but is feeling really isolated and stuck, and is worried about like how terrified his sister must be, and this sucks. So like he's been really thinking to himself like, okay, if technomancy is a thing, let it hit now.
You've been deep in thought with this when Char sort of gets your attention. There was a bit of a twinkle in their eye.
What? Hi.
I'm sure that I can do that.
You hanging in there?
I'm doing fine. I've had all sorts of time to meditate. In fact, I think I feel my powers increasing. I'm ready for a jailbreak. Plus, I've bribed everybody. I think we're primed.
As you're talking, you can see the two prison guards basically. Like one of them heads off towards some of the other kids. It looks like they had a conversation. One of them pointed towards them. One of them heads over that way, and then once that logic is sort of over there and has their attention on them, the first one, the prison guard, I should say, it was actually a lawjack that moonlights this job too, because more paychecks good. Comes walking up to Char and Panda, and clears his throat. The transfer went through just as you said.
So glad.
We got your workout equipment here. You probably want to save it for the next session, though. He slides over a small, basically like sets down like a little workout bag that he had under his body armor or whatever, and kind of shoves it forward with a foot and clears his throat. Hey, you there, down at base.
Yes.
Too much weight. Take it easy. And then he turns around and goes back to his post.
There's 2 I have right now, and I actually speak up. Transfer.
Yeah. Some more weights to lift and whatnot.
Jace, you've got a little twitch happening right there.
Because of all the workouts that Panda and I do.
I'm gonna open the bag.
Don't do that right now.
You open the bag, and you can see Panda's cyber kit in there. There's a few extra cables and accessories.
Char, will you be my they friend?
Or what?
My they friend?
Oh.
Will you marry me?
Let's get back into real life where I can shower every day, and then I'll answer
Why?
that.
Why? No, stop.
I'm not touching anybody while I'm still in the same prison clothes I've been in.
Why is this here? Why do we have?
Your voice down.
All right. At that point, the door to the big old metal doors to the yard open up, and you can see 4 more prison guards come walking in with that's Strickland right at the center, and he looks angry. He's fuming. He comes out here and says, it looks over at the prison guard who had come over and given you the breach kit and says, "What is going on here? You know these 3 are not to be allowed together under any circumstances. This is an outrage. Separate them at once. You're going to be in solitary for the rest of your natural lives." And I think it's maybe time for a struggle.
I forgot that Strickland was. He's like that principal in all the Nickelodeon TV shows that just shows up everywhere.
He lost his principal job, so now he's got this one.
He's the anti-Mr. Feeney.
Oh no!
I don't know.
So my objective is that
World.
My objective as the authority in this struggle will be that your breach kit will be taken away from you before you even get the chance to do much with it. And of course you'll be separated and isolated for a long time and not be able to be together. Ha ha!
I don't like that.
Isolated, and I take away your toys.
That's teasing, Cliff.
Oh, I'm not. I'm going all in here. So, what do you want to get out of this? If you win,
I want my breacher kit.
Yeah, we'll be able to.
You have your breacher kit.
I say this is it. I think this is prison break.
Prison break.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
We get back
Sounds
out
like
into
a great
the world.
Start. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
All right. Well, Principal Strickland has come out, and did I do all the things? Let me double check. I've been getting ahead of myself lately.
We get so excited.
Oh, the kickoff here. So, yeah, I am using an authority figure instead of a system of control. That's okay. Special rules. We've got round robin as always, and violence is ugly. So round robin, you can't go twice unless everyone else has had a chance to go at least once. Violence is ugly. If you use violence against a person, the authority gets to claim 2 numbers their next turn. And of course, there's a special rule of stand together. Once per episode, you can use this rule. And it allows you to essentially stand up, have a second person stand up and use their conviction to ignore a bad dice roll and choose any unclaimed number instead of losing. Just once.
I think this is my favorite rule.
It was your idea, actually. So was the 5 scenes. You've had a lot of influence over some of the rules changes, actually. Yeah, you said there should be a teamwork thing. And,
guys!
I was like, you're right. There should be a teamwork thing. Let's do a teamwork thing.
I'm such a game designer.
You're pretty much a game designer now. You're gonna get second billing for sure.
All right, so I didn't forget anything other than the special rules, which are in play throughout. Those are all in play throughout the episode. So again, I will start by claiming the number 2 because, man, Strickland is here to mess up your day again, and he's just not going to let you enjoy yourselves. Anyone feel like standing up? Oh,
I'm going to stand up.
Roll a dice.
And, okay, yeah. Is it R?
/R space 2d6. At least that's the command I use. There might be others. There's probably a few different syntaxes.
So if you go to your upper left, oh, that works too.
I will do. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so I got a 9.
Right.
And
conviction.
By way of just testing and showing off the system, I'm actually going to use one of my sold out convictions, profligate.
Okay, it's worth pointing out that if you use a sold-out conviction, it plays in the authorities' hands, and just like with using violence, it lets me pick 2 numbers on my turn.
Yes, and like I said, just showing off the system itself. So making a non, what's the word? A non maximal choice to sort of just show off what happens. So I'm going to use my sold-out conviction profligate, which is sort of wasteful. So I'm going to just shout to the other lawjacks on duty, hey, anybody who gets us out of this, $10,000 each.
All right.
Panda's like...
They're all kind of like looking at each other. It seems like that all of those prison guards, like they're not even lawjacks necessarily. The prison guards don't get paid as well and don't get as good benefits. Though a lot of them are moonlighting lawjacks. Yeah, a number of them are aware of the sort of the money that's flowing around among some of them, and kind of looking amongst each other. The ones who don't necessarily seem like they're like all about jumping on the take, they seem like they're maybe more upset with the ones who look like they might be on the take than they are concerned about doing their jobs right now. So with that, and Strickland like looks back and forth at them. Now this is ridiculous. Stop hesitating. Don't let that one talk either. They're a mage. Just get on with this. And I'm going to claim the number 8. And then as I claim the number 10, I'll just point out how, yeah, one of the lawjacks in particular is just, he's a corrupt cop, granted, but he doesn't take money to help kids. He takes money to do crimes and stuff. So he's really offended at bribery being used in any sort of way that doesn't benefit the bad guys. And so he steps up and he hauls back an arm and punches Char so hard in the face that teeth fly out. Oh. And like your lip is split, blood flies, your tongue is numb, and it's going to be hard to talk. Like you deliberately messed up your face so you would have a hard time talking.
I feel like if you're going to use violence is ugly, then we should get the two numbers.
That's not how authorities work.
Right?
Idealism.
Yep, sweet. I'm standing up. Thank
you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Roll that dice. Ooh, 5. All right. Keep it rolling. Yep.
Cool. Also,
I got all the time here.
Also using, the mechanics, I am going to use my Yolan training, and I'm going to smash whoever just did that into the ground. Like, I'm literally going to make him go up, and then drop the thing, then drop the rock. So it basically elevates them, and now drop the thing down.
Okay. Wow, yeah, you totally...
Mr. Mr. Follows the Rules is stepping up here.
Yeah, you whip out your fancy magic element bending martial arts, and yeah, that logic flies up in the air and slams back down, like the wind's knocked out of him. You might have even heard like a rib crack or something, and he's just like on the ground, totally in bad shape. You just messed this logic up.
You hear out of the corner, Char says, "Hero."
And I'll say something like, you're not supposed to hurt the inmates. Not part of the rules. That's how they're not following the rules. I won't.
All right, yeah, so a couple other logics step up, and one of them says, "Oh, nobody tells me how to do my job. I'll show you how this goes down." And he steps forward and, like, he seems to be, like, wise to some of your feints and maneuvers, and, like, whips out this extendable electrical baton thing, kind of waves it back and forth. He acts like he's about to get you with it, and you're like, you go back and forth a little bit. There's sort of a bit of a martial arts duel that happens. He's anticipating and dodging your fiery bolts, and when you throw him up to the ground, he lands safely. It's kind of, it would almost be fun if it wasn't so desperate. And like people are starting to watch, and some are cheering, and then he does this thing where he comes at you with the stun stick, and then you avoid that attack, but then he brings his knee right up in between your legs, and then headbutts you in the face, and you are down in the ground in some of the worst pain you've ever been in. And I claim number 4 as well.
I guess this is me.
Yeah.
Look at
all
that
dice.
Look at all that red. I don't like it, guys. What'd you do?
Why don't you do some violence too? So I'll run out of tokens at this rate.
Why don't you do some violence?
12.
Oh. Well, the few times you're happy to see yourself rolling that number.
I know, right? So seeing all this, like I'm standing right next to the bag that was brought in. So I see Char go down. I see Goldenboy go down. So I grab the bag and like baseball slide under like the picnic table that's there for everyone to sit at, and I just start getting everything out, and I start hacking to or breaching to open the doors to the play area. That's so wrong to say. It's not the play area, to the yard, so that like people could escape during that, because then they'd be distracted hopefully and leave my friends alone, and we can slip out. So,
all right. So yeah, you're able to get your breach kit up, and you start hacking this place. And there are very few controls that are designed to prevent breaching from the inside. So you've got a bit of an edge. You realize that there are not any doors right off of the yard. There's no access. You have to go back through the building. You're able to sort of start plotting out a route, but there's multiple checkpoints in the way. Like this place is a fragging prison, and I'm going to claim number 11.
I also, since they're all up in arms about this, I'm gonna and fighting, as I sit down to like crack the knuckles, I'm gonna do and then like start hacking.
Nice. Well, let's see. Char and Goldenboy have both been sort of beaten down. You're not necessarily, out unconscious or totally taken out. You've just been hurt pretty bad. Panda's been doing some breaching. The round robin rules have been satisfied, so there's no more rules about who can stand up when. But I've done my thing, so unless you want to go back to your cells. I think I heard Goldenboy's voice first.
Slowly, because you're in pain.
Nice. Kind of, I think.
Oh, you rolled a 7.
Ooh.
My goodness, we have almost filled up this board. We will have a full board next turn.
I am. Well, I got hurt. I'm getting up. I'm smiling. I'm just. I am unfazed. There are marks on my face. I got kicked. I'm saying something like, "This is."
So yeah, you like get up. There was a bunch of cheering from some of the Lawjacks, and like a bunch of the kids go, oh, like as you went down, and the Lawjack was sort of looking pretty proud of himself. Not Lawjack, prison guard. And you stand back up. He's like looking over at you with sort of a wry grin on his face, like, oh, look, I get to hit this kid again. And as he sees the look in your eye and the thing you say, you see his stance changes unconsciously a bit, and the baton lowers ever so slightly, and he takes a step back. And then Strickland yells, "It's just a kid! Get him!" As I claim number 3. Oh, hold on, I need to, I don't want to use a green one. Give me a sec here. I need to generate an extra token. There we go.
A lot of Misspent Youth, and this is the first time you've had to make extra red tokens.
I'm not sure. I think this is the first time the board has ever been completely full. We came really close in another episode, but yeah. Now, whoever stands up, one way or another, you are going to end this. And again, round robin is not in play, so technically any of you could stand up at this point.
I wouldn't mind standing up.
Roll those dice.
Uh-oh.
11!
Kid gloves? Kid gloves?
There's no kid gloves. There is teamwork, but technically what happens with teamwork is you pick an open slot to claim, and there aren't any open slots. So we're sort of in an unanticipated part of the rules. What do you think, chat? Does this mean that they can use their stand together to do it, and they just don't get to place a token down? Or does it mean that since the board is full, that they can't use that rule, and Char only has the option of losing or selling out? Let's give a little time for the chat to mull that over. I know what I'd like to do, but I'm not exactly I'm not exactly a neutral party here. That said, burning up your one get out of jail free card, so to speak, wouldn't be the worst outcome for me either. You know, having you in jail isn't my life's goal, right? So let's see. Any responses from the chat? Is it yes, they can use it, or no, they can't?
Let the people go.
That is not clear. That's not a clear response. We're asking whether or not they can use the special rule or not.
Vote for teamwork.
And yes, they can only use stand together once in the entire episode. So, question is, can they, even though the condition of being able to place down a token somewhere is not available? So Billy Berserker said yes, they can use it. I'm going to see if there's another vote for teamwork. That's good enough for me. So yeah, you can use stand together if you want. Just however, keep in mind that you won't be placing a token down. You'll just get to keep going.
A good question that'll come from that too, Cliff, is if the board is full and we use violence is ugly.
It doesn't matter, right? You can use violence now all you want.
You won't escape the narrative consequences of using violence.
Right. Yeah.
You'll win this. I'm going to sell out. I mentioned that I had been growing in power, so I'm going to leave my arcane studies behind and become an unauthorized magician.
Oh, that makes sense.
I pick up the teeth of mine that were knocked out, and I begin swirling them around in my hand, and they begin to grow in size and shoot out and knock the walls down on this huge section of the wall, and my oversized giant teeth are just swirling around me as I just walk out, and I go, "You guys coming?"
The Lawjack that sort of kicked Jace's ass just turns around and runs back into the prison, as do some of the other guards. Other guards seem like they're like just either not getting involved or even maybe like they're trying to sort of just move away and let you have your space. A couple of, like, one of them catches Char's eye, gives him a thumbs up and a nod. Strickland looks like he's going to come chasing after you, and one of those guards grabs him and, "No, sir, you can't. It's too dangerous."
You are terrifying.
Yeah, that was scary, but you won. I mean, it doesn't count toward the scoreboard, but you did get your hope, which was prison break. Not just you, but some of the other kids. Yeah, use your own bones to fuel the magic. That's deep stuff. Wow. Okay, I think let's do a reflection on this then. As, you have all gotten out of prison by way of unauthorized magic, and yeah, a whole lot of beatdowns going on, back and forth.
It just had enough.
So before moving on, let's go to page. Let's see on the document. It's in a few different places. But page 27 is where I'm at. There's the reflection questions. Each one of you should ask and answer one of those. Again, this is kind of like the friendship questions, but you can also ask yourself and answer it yourself if you want. Things like, how do you feel about what just happened? What do you want to do next? Etc. There's example questions there, but the sixth question is essentially a wild card for any question you want to ask. So technically all questions are on the list.
I already got mine. This
Yeah,
question
let's hear it.
myself, where the hell are we gonna go? Because, you know, the reason why Jace wanted to stay is because of this question. And Jace has no answer. This is like very uncomfortable for him because his answer is nothing. Like he has no, because he can't go home. Don't know how extent Char did, so he doesn't really know that. Panda can't go back.
There's still Tent City.
But to him, he has no clue. So he's reflecting on this and just getting more mad.
All right. Yes, feel the hate grow within you.
Oh no. I have several questions.
Well, just one this time.
Okay.
Unless you can bundle them together in a clever way.
Think like a lawyer right now. How I gotta nope. This is more important to me. What do you want to do next? I want to find out where Truce is. We haven't seen Truce. Is she still in there? Did she get a reprieve? Did her family get her out? Like what? Where's Truce?
That's right. She was not in the yard.
Yeah. So I'm worried about her.
Do you answer that question, or are you asking somebody?
I was asking myself.
And answered it. Yep.
Okay.
All right, Char, are you going to reflect on yourself or somebody else?
I suppose I'll think about how I feel about what just happened.
Fair question. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, Char is probably the most upset that, well, they're really upset that they lost teeth. Like, that's really bothering them. But also, there is some connections that they had made in various arcane studies departments, and they sort of had a career path in mind as to what they wanted to do with their significant magical powers. And now that seems like that road is, for better or for worse, closed, because they have done unauthorized magic, and the system isn't kind to people who have learned or been able to teach themselves how to do things that aren't approved. So very reflective about future and what the future might look like.
All right, I'll wrap up the scene by saying you escape, as do quite a few other kids that were actually from your high school as well that found their way here one way or another. You didn't see Truce as you escaped. Actually, imagine you found her cell and found that it was empty. Didn't have time to do the full hack to find out more information because you had to get out of there. But yeah, things got pretty crazy. And actually, the weird thing is in the news the next day, there's a mention that Kingery Corp has chosen to release, to basically graduate a number of students from their corporate education center. And they're currently in the process of doing some renovations after a construction accident caused some damage. So it seems like you've all actually been officially released, graduated from the detention center, and they're covering this up to save face. Which sort of plays in your favor a little bit, but also you don't think this will be the end of it. So let's move into scene 2, starting things off as we always do with a friendship question. Who would like to ask?
Me.
Go for it. Who are you asking?
Char.
Ask away.
Char, do you think you're starting to go a little too far?
Been thinking about that myself. I can't say that it's felt particularly good, especially bribing the guards and whatnot. But yeah, something I'm thinking about. Certainly not who I was last 2 months ago.
All right. Now the second scene's theme is heating up. First theme I didn't mention before is what's up, and in the story, the purpose of this scene is to build some tension and pressure, and from that define a clear episode question that will steer the rest of the conflict for the episode. So you've been feeling the heat from the authority. Things have been getting worse in some ways. You're in a bit of a tough spot. I guess maybe for setting the scene for the free play, why don't we pick up with where you did end up going? Where have you gone for shelter or to stay since you can't go home? So decide where you're at, and then I think maybe we'll just have a conversation where you can sort of talk about things like maybe bringing out the friendship question will be like normally the friendship question is, yeah, that's cool to know, but right now it feels like it's perfect fuel for the scene itself.
I think we are probably on the street running. I think that's actually where we're at, because I think what happens right after that we need to talk about.
Okay, so camera pans down to the group. You're sort of like huddled in an alleyway, hiding, ducking down as a LawJack patrol car with its lights on drives by. I think that's a good start to the scene then. All right.
And as we start the scene, we are at $12,000 even.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay! Thank you,
That's
everyone.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. Woo-woo.
Big milestone. Let's keep it going during the game. If you like what you see, teen rebellion standing up to authority and highly narrative role-playing game, please go to our Kickstarter at www.remalternis.com/Misspent Youth and support our Kickstarter. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. So I will be walking along, with my friends, and I'll just keep my teeth. Like my mouth is obviously bloody. I just keep tossing around my teeth in my hands, like, gosh darn it! I really liked having a full set of teeth. So like I guess I'm probably working some sort of arcane magic on my teeth, maybe like coating them in some sort of, I don't know, substance, so maybe I can just shove them back in. I don't know the first thing about dentistry.
I'd imagine like half of your face is all swollen and bruised at this point too. You're feeling and looking rather out of sorts.
Right? Like I'm not into dating anymore. Like
no, don't look at me. I'm deformed.
Right? The attack I have suffered has left me. Yes. So yeah, that's what Char's doing. Just sort of focused on their face.
All right. Well, as the lawjack car goes by, and you find yourselves in an alleyway. What a nice place to be.
Can we take a rest here? I want to try to look into where Truce might be.
Sure.
What the f*** is that, Char?
I imagine as there's this outburst, and just as Panda's about to sit down, there's this sort of outburst from Goldenboy, and then a whole bunch of rats just suddenly flee in all directions out from under the dumpster that Panda was about to sit next to.
Like, seriously, what the fuck was that? What idea? What made you think that we should break out when we have no place really to go? Like, what made you think that was a good idea?
It's better than spending a lifetime in isolation.
This is the other thing. We had y'all good, Panda. You was good. You was out. They came trying to get you, and you should have just stayed away. But you came to try to get us, and they got trapped. Like, what the hell? We could have lasted. The only thing we had to do is me and Char. We had to take some time. We could have faked it till we made it, and it would have got out, and everybody been okay. Now we bucked out the whole place. They're gonna.
Strickland was never gonna let us out.
They would.
No.
Because that's their thing. If they think we are their puppets, they will let us out and graduate. That is easy to change. That is easy to manipulate. But now we have the whole people knowing that we are... And he just hits his head on the wall and start banging on his head on his wall. Like,
so you'd rather sell out everything that we stand for, that brought us together as friends, to make them happy?
We wouldn't have sold out. We would have faked them. We would have faked them and then figured out next plan to get them. That's not the... And he just banging his head like over and over and over like he's mad, and like the brick is starting to break because he's using his like magic more to just break the wall more and more, whatever alley they're in.
You want to be
I
their
got my
pup?
teeth. Jace, I liked my teeth. And I didn't see you holding back. I saw you using your... kicking ass. Sometimes you just react. Not that I don't appreciate it, but we've got another choice to make here. You can sit there and be upset about it, or we can start planning our next move. We've got the tent community that can feed us and probably house us, although we got to be careful about that so that we don't screw that up. But this is an opportunity. We're free, and we've got some lawjacks on our side now.
Probably check their meta book.
I bet Panda can, now that Panda has their cyber kit back.
Yeah, and I guess this is where Panda thought that they're essentially pivoting to covering this up rather than making a big alert about terrorist kids shooting up or blowing up the detention center and running amok in the streets.
Yeah, congratulations. We all graduated as their puppets. See, you got what you wanted after all.
That's actually good news, because they can't mess with us publicly. Publicly, we are things. We are good. We're good little people.
Oh, sweetheart.
Great.
Says from the 9-year-old looking kid.
So, where are we gonna go?
I was going to suggest something to eat, but I don't really feel like eating.
Let's see. Panda, actually, as you're looking at the metabook thing, you can see that there are posts there's a post from you a little bit ago saying, so happy to have graduated. Kingery Corp is the best. Can't wait to go back to school, start a new job. And you can see there's another post from Char that's saying, so sad that my parents betrayed everything that was important, but I know what's true and real in this world, and that is being of service to Kingery Corp. So happy to be graduating. And there's a similar comment from Jace as well. And there's like you look and there's a bunch of different interactions. It looks like your MetaBook accounts have been reactivated, but you're locked out of access to them, and they're posting on your behalf. You can see that there's like outraged posts from friends of yours at school or people who looked up to you for standing up against the authority, and then the other you is just sort of tearing into them and tearing them down, and then they're losing meta points, and you're getting all these bumps and boosts. Like you have these MetaBook doppelgangers that are playing things up just like the authority would want you to. They're forcing you to speak and use your MetaBook voice to say their words.
Hey, Char, smile, and I open the camera app, because I'm gonna show what's actually happening behind the scenes here.
Char says no, and pulls their hood back over their face and like, nope, I'm gonna fix this somehow.
You don't want to show off what they're doing. Look at this. They've taken over our accounts and saying we're good little puppets.
Well, that's great, but you're not going to use my hideous face to make a point.
Am I like bleeding from what happened to the thing? What happened at the?
If you want to be, I mean,
okay,
it's up to you.
Sure.
Obviously, you don't want to be, but
I am probably from my head.
You got headbutted in the face with by a guy who was wearing a helmet, so
So
makes sense.
What I'm gonna do is, all right, you want to take a picture, and I wipe the blood, and I wipe it over my face, almost making like a crimson mask, and then I'll say, fine, this picture. We understand after this.
I'll take the picture and be like, is this your new crimson mask? Is this your superhero?
It may have
creation story.
This is the creation story. This may have been.
Right,
and then you see like wonder in his eyes, like this might have to.
All right, you go to upload it, and of course you're locked out of your accounts, but you know how to get it in the sideways. But then you realize they've upgraded their anti-breaching security on MetaBook. This isn't going to be as easy as you thought. I think we're going to the second struggle. I introduced the system of control, which is MetaBook, as part of the beat. My objective is to sow distrust among youthful offenders, cause them to be shunned. I think what I'll do is, I already have distrust sown amongst you. It's just been so delicious. Let's go a little further and say that, your reputation among the other revolutionaries is just absolutely sullied by your doppelganger behavior on MetaBook. That people believe that's the real you, despite your efforts. So that's my objective. Oh, what's your hope?
To expose the re-education program as being a brainwashing and problematic piece of Kingu Corp, damage their reputation.
All right, so to damage Kingu Corp's reputation by just showing how crappy the place treated you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. I will go ahead and... Oh, special rules. Round robin, violence is ugly, stand together, all in play. We talked about this before. But now the resistance token is in play. It goes to whoever lost the last scene. Oh, look, that's me.
I don't...
I'll take mine.
I hate how joyous you are right now.
So, yeah, I can use that to make you re-roll the dice whenever I want, and that'll be whenever you're about to win, I'm sure. Let's see, my narration for doing something nasty was mentioning the anti-breaching protocols in the MetaBook system. That means your old breaching tricks are not going to work. I claim number 3.
I'd like to stand up.
All right, roll them dice.
9.
9, okay.
All right, so as I get to work and see that like all my usual methods are blocked.
Hold on, conviction first.
Oh, yes. It's been a whole week since I've played, so I forgot how to play.
No, it's fine. I just I was wondering if you had to work it into that sentence, and when you didn't, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna jump in here.
You did the right thing.
So.
I'm gonna use my boundless curiosity. And I'm gonna start researching things about the re-education center as I start to tell like one piece of the story. Like I try to go from like a very like curious and honest point of view and just see if the if like media does what media does and takes it over itself. But the boundless
thing is, right now you can't even post.
Well, can I like with real MetaBook? Can I just create another account?
That might be something you're doing as part of your action to let you do that.
Okay, then I'll just do sneaky for right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and create a secondary account. Called.
Yeah, normally I would yes and this, but when the answer makes
Sure.
things more dystopian, I kind of wanted to lean into that.
Sure. I'm gonna name it youthful offender.
Youthful offender.
Yes, as my husband says. And create that like profile and start to just tell a story about like how start with the brainwashing, start with the stuff that happened in the weeks that we were there, and just start kind of blogging through a story to get it out there, and have pictures and stuff of the facility to kind of prove it, and research articles and stuff.
Okay, you created the account, you're putting the posts out there, and you're checking to see whether there are any views or clicks or anything, and there's like literally nothing. What's going on here? You've got all this great material and it's posted and ready to go, and you realize part of MetaBook's features now is do unverified accounts. Everything they post has to go through the screening process, and you know none of these are actually going to get through that once a person looks at it. So I'll claim number 8 is Kingery Corp is exerting their control over their own playground.
I'll stand.
Even if I got shut out.
This is perfect because I don't want to. I won't sell out. Okay, this is actually this is great. This is okay, cool. So I am selling out. Let me find it.
We're getting really close to losing, guys.
Only sold out once. This is my first time I sold out, so we're good. One person got sold out all of it. Cool. So the Yowlin training is gone. I am going to chaotic elements. So what's happening is I am going to trust that Panda is like recording still, and hopefully it gets out. I'm gonna say something like, with my crimson mask, is gonna be like, and there was just a beat. I will tear every place of every Tango Court place. And you know what? We're starting at the correction place. That building will go down. It will go down.
He just froze for me too, and it's terrifying.
Quite a reversal from "How dare you."
I know. Oh, we're losing you, Shay.
Love Shay.
The internet can't handle your rage.
Right. Putting too much rage into the camera.
The camera's like, oh no. Oh, Cliff, we can't hear you.
Next thing is, the worst thing is going to be going through this big long thing that's 3 times as long before he realizes.
I know.
We're going to miss it all. Oh well.
Oh.
Right? This monologue is epic. She'll never hear it.
Oh.
Or we'll all hear it in 5 times speed when it all catches up.
You can create your own supervillain origin story monologue by backing the Misspent Youth Kickstarter at remalternis.com/misspent-youth. Well, Cliff.
I don't. Can we move on or no? We wait.
We're going to take a break after this scene, but maybe we should just take a break now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then reconvene in 10 minutes, and hopefully we'll have our player back.
Yeah.
And it'll be a good cliffhanger. We'll see sort of how this all rolls out. Not a super cliffhanger, because we know you win the scene by selling out, but.
Let's come back, because my cameras are also messed up now, so.
Okay. Break time.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.
And Shay's back with us!
Hi, guys.
After cooling down from the rage that shut down his entire computer. When we left off, Shay, you were just gearing up into how you won the scene.
I got you. I am going to tear down every single part of this place. Do you understand me? You have shown so little effort for these people, for our parents, for our families, for all the people who are right now in a tent because you want to use your demonetization and all this stupid stuff that you don't want people to know. Well, guess what? We're going to break every single thing down, and we're starting with the correctional building at every stone, every brick, every place, every memorial, and every little stupid motivation signs are coming down, and it's gonna be nothing but rock and fire. Follow for more.
Slam that follow button.
All right, so remind me, what was your hope?
To discredit and damage the reputation of Kingery Corp, exposing what the place was really like.
All right, and the thing that he rolled on was 8, which I think was Panda's placement, which was being sneaky or whatever. But
no, I thought he sold out.
Oh, sold out because
he sold out.
That's right. Never mind, he sold out. So I guess through whatever way, Panda's able to get the message out, get past the breaching protocols, find the trick or whatever, and get in. And get that stuff posted. And it works. It gets out there, and Metabook has trouble shutting it down because of stuff. And the message gets out, and people are talking about it. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, is that Goldenboy? And then Goldenboy on Metabook is like, no, that's totally not me. I would build up Kingery Corp, not destroy it. Don't mistake me for a terrorist. And they're like, you're a bot. You're so fake. And then it just breaks down from there. So it becomes clear that your online personas are part of the whole thing. And yeah, you just give Kingery Corp a big black eye. So instead of doing reflection questions, though, at the end of this scene, we are going to create the episode question. It's the big question that is answered at the end of the episode. Like, will this happen or will that happen? What shall we have it be?
Will the community as a whole begin to turn against Kingery Corp?
I was gonna say maybe something like having to do with Metabook. Will Metabook remain the youthful, hip platform to be on, or will it just be old people and bootlickers who are on Metabook?
All right, 3 different ideas. Let's find some
Let the chat.
common ground.
Let the chat decide.
Yeah. If you want to pick one of those, chat, or throw out your own idea, that's great. Great idea. I love using the chat as a resource.
Yes.
Does SnapTube overcome Metabook as the premier social media?
What was
SnapTube?
I actually like that.
All right, it does SnapTube sow Discord and overcome Metabook as the premier social media
that
platform.
actually will work because Panda could create it. That video could have been the start of it, and Char can fund it. So we could do that.
right? Like to follow more uncensored truth.
Yeah, and it gradually turns you more and more into the people you're fighting against.
That's what I was thinking, like, how we became evil.
We built this.
Yep.
And that will defund Metabook, and people will go to that one. See, it works all around.
I think that's a great episode question, so let's do it. Will a new social media platform take over Metabook's market share? Or however you want to think of it. Some variation of that. We've got it in our minds. So with that in our minds, we move on to scene 3 and start with an episode question, or a friendship question. Who would like to ask a friendship question? I believe, Shay, you're the only one who hasn't yet.
Oh.
But anybody can. It doesn't have the round robin rule.
Unless somebody else got a better question.
I have one.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Goldenboy.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that come from?
So, yeah, it came from weeks of frustration with my friends, with the fact that I got beat down by logjacks, the people my dad works for. The fact that my dad forced me into a camp that he knows didn't have. The fact that they done horrible things to me at that said camp to make me fall in line. And 4, they hurt you, and then I seen Char go out, and that was the tick. I mean, it started at the tent camp, but that it ended in that video, and so now I am trying to keep it cool because I still have that, but morale it's getting harder. That's what happened.
I love you, but you're gonna need some therapy.
I mean, everyone needs therapy. Really.
Fair.
But yeah, you got some trauma. Drama. Yep. So, yeah, before we go into the scene, I should mention the narrative theme of this scene is we're winning. This is the scene where the YOs get to hit back hard and feel like they're winning. The featured exploit for the episode should likely come into play, but how you fight back is up to you. So if you'd like to feature either the Breacher Collective or the Lawjack traders within the episode, now would be a good time to do that. But again, you don't have to. So we're setting the scene where you're either right in the middle of doing something awesome to fight back against the authority, or planning to, or just about to get into it. Should we do this in media res, or more planning things? Also, I guess, what's the nature of what you're doing now?
I like the idea of bringing in the Lawjack traders, and like, if we're starting to get a little bit of an upper hand at revealing how crappy Kingu Corp is, maybe they have some insights, and so like we could do the thing like in the old TV shows where they like blur out the person and change their voice, and they say like, I've been a Lawjack for 28 years and this is the kind of stuff they go down. But it's like we could do a video like that.
Oh, so you're like meeting with the traitor lawjacks and taking their testimonies down, and you're preparing the propaganda package to roll out?
Yeah.
That's
okay.
It's not propaganda if it's true.
Oh, sure. That's just semantics, of course. But I'm sure. But I'm just using, the jargon I'm, most familiar with. So.
Manipulation. If you're doing good with it, then it's leadership.
Of course. That's the Kingu Corp way.
What's the quote from Wicked? Where I come from, we believe all sorts of things that aren't true. We call it history.
Nice. That's really funny in a really dark, funny way.
I'll send you the song. It's by The Wizard.
All right. So, where are you doing this?
Tent City.
We'll do it at Tent City when we can make our own studio at Char's.
Oh yeah, it's Char's house now.
I feel like that's not like. I feel like that's a little obvious. Like, can we even just be at my house?
This is true.
I'm gonna say your house has actually been taken away from your parents as part of demonetization and some other stuff. And you don't get. They don't have the house, but you don't get it either. It's essentially been gobbled up by the corporations.
Our own happy corner of Tent City, then.
What if we went right outside our community to that old hotel or motel off of 54th Street, where we used to go buy illegal fireworks?
Where you used to go by that? Hello, you, Char, because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm down with that.
Don't forget, there's also the pool hall.
All right,
the
so
locker.
The easy no
Wait, go ahead. Or there, prostitution is not only legal in Neo Babylon, but it is considered fairly respectable. So we could probably find a very low rent, prostitution place, and just pay them by the hour. I got plenty of money, and nobody's gonna barge in on us.
Since your kids and that idea got shot down, you're meeting at the Skeezy No-Tell Motel.
Right, we are
where,
kids. Okay, fine.
where people come to buy their illicit fireworks.
Fireworks. This is a kid show, I guess.
And of course, lawjacks showing up there and harassing people is a fairly common occurrence. So it's an easy cover for the lawjack traders who are going to show up. So some of them are putting on a show of harassing some people up front, while the other ones are going in the room to give their testimony and do their part. So
by the way, I'm totally going to clip Opti going, well, I have an idea. Prostitution.
That's all. That's forever on.
Know what I was saying and what I wasn't saying. I was just saying that we just use the building.
Yeah, it's just when Char comes up with that idea, they're like, get out of here, kid. Come on. Come back when you're 18.
Okay. Let's do it.
You're like, but I have money. Like, no, we don't have anything to do with this. Just please don't.
I'll pay double.
We really want to hang out with the prostitutes. It's just... That's our episode goal.
That's it.
The prostitutes are respectful enough to tell the child to get lost.
Yes.
Very fair.
Yeah.
All right, so... how's that going? You've finished a couple of them. Gotten a bunch of different lines. You're doing sort of the blacked out interrogation room sort of testimony, and you're putting the voice filters on. Are you getting good stuff? Is this working well, or?
Yes, because everything works great, and no authority opposes us ever.
Sure, that might be what it seems like right now.
I think I'm sitting on I'm not seeing. And knocking, trying not to hit my foot, but I keep kind of hitting my back of my heel against the wall, reading all these.
And yeah, what's Char up to? How's your face feeling now?
I assume that the swelling has gone down, and I have coated my teeth in annuon, which is a sort of magical substance. So I just slip them back in and take them out whenever I need to do magic, and they become a sort of focus for my magic. Not anything like really, doesn't do anything. Sort of makes me angry enough to
So
remember.
you can stick your teeth back in and then pull them out when you want to do magic?
Yeah.
That's not creepy.
No, it's really creepy. But that's where we are. I need to keep angry, and so I was like, oh yeah, my tooth. I haven't really had to do that much.
Panda has stopped bringing up how attractive you are.
So yeah, I imagine Char is just continuing to practice weird magic and paying for the things that need to get paid. I think they're being smart about it though too, because it's not like they can just sort of use money without having it be traced back to them. So they're trying to be smart about it. Like they'll go, different places, draw different monies out of certain places, and
try to keep. You have a breacher friend and a breacher collective to rely on as well. So
yeah.
So yeah, the next lawjack comes in. What's their name?
Alan.
Alan? Okay. Alan comes in, and what race is Alan? The human or an elf or an orc?
Oh, there's elves and orcs and this.
There are. Okay.
This. I mean, let me not say every my ideas, but I have a thing.
Right. Sure. Oh yeah, Alan, an orc lawjack comes on in and looks around and. All right, I'm here for the payouts. What do I got to do?
Just sit down, make yourself comfortable, and tell us about the unfair and unjust and inhumane behaviors you have experienced in the lawjacks.
Oh yeah, right. It's really hard for you see a lot of orc lawjacks, but you don't see a lot of orc lawjack captains, and really they make it hard for us to move up in the ranks. We're seen as tough, and we can really get into it and handle the tough situations, and that's true, we can, but it doesn't mean we should always be the first people to be put there, or that's all we're good for, and that sure is what it seems like. And then, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, who do you know, or how many people should have gotten promotions that didn't, and...
All right, well, there was my buddy Frank, and he starts to roll down, like, a list of stuff with, like, a little bit of anecdotes about each of them. He got shot in the left buttocks that one time by a kid who didn't think he even realized he had a gun. It was a toy. Yeah, man, that was great. We laughed about that for years. And then there was Tudor. Tudor really got it bad. Got their head was chopped off by this cutting machine when they were trying to. Oh, you should have seen. I think I have a picture somewhere. You could dig it out.
Don't need it.
Oh man, you wouldn't believe the stuff that I've got here on my photo library.
Are we done with him? No.
At that point, there's like a trip, like, huh? Just a sec. Oh, shit, Derekah. Hey, we gotta clear out of here. Apparently, Goldenboy's dad is swinging by here with a patrol.
What?
He's not interested in the take, by the way. I got to split. You can't see me here. He gets up and goes to run. And yeah, it sounds like Jace's dad is on the way here. And let's do a struggle. So yeah, it seems like the Lawjacks are splitting. You've gotten some good information, a lot to work with. I mean, especially with the editing stuff you can do. It would have been nice to get a little bit more, though. It's a little bit early by the arrival of some Lawjacks that maybe aren't on your side. So Base's dad is on the way. I'll use that to claim the number 4. But before we get into that, let's declare the objective and the hope. Let's see. I don't have an objective yet. Maybe I'll let you come up with a hope first.
I got an idea. Go ahead, y'all.
Oh, you go ahead. I've been given a lot of ideas lately.
The objective is make my dad talk on.
Ooh. Get him to talk, but not know he's recorded.
Or get him to talk and know he's recorded. Something like that. Something just get him recording and talking.
Apologies if I'm not remembering this. Was your dad the Lawjack captain, or is he just a Lawjack? Because I know one of the playthroughs, Jace's dad was the captain, authority figure. I can't remember if that was this one or a different. I've been playing so many playtests.
No. He wasn't a captain.
Okay, got it.
He probably is within the patrol, not the captain.
Okay. So.
Still. Done some things. Like in my backstory, he done some things. He heard the captain do some things, and he was okay with it.
So your hope is to get your dad on board with sharing his testimony that makes Kingery Corp and the Lawjacks maybe not look so great.
Get him to agree to it, or just secretly record him?
I know he won't agree to it, so it's more me secretly, I think.
Okay, you just want to sort of have that conversation and get it out of him. All right, my objective is that what should I have for an objective? I'm going to toss it to the chat because sometimes this happens in Misspent Youth. It's okay. Don't need to freak out or think you're a crappy player or GM that you're not coming up with ideas. Take a little bit of extra time, utilize some of your resources, and just trust that something cool will bubble up to the surface here. So that's what I'm doing. Any ideas from the chat on what my objective as the authority should be in this situation? Some of my initial thoughts are that the Lawjack traders are going to get caught and messed up, but I don't know. That's an exploit that you have that I don't really get to take away unless I win the episode. So I'm putting that one on the back burner as a possible one. There's also maybe just the possibility that something to do with Goldenboy's relationship with his father. Something goes defined in a particularly unpleasant way. Granted, they're kind of on the ropes. They're don't exactly have the best father-son relationship at the moment, but that might be it. But I kind of feel like that's not that big of a deal at this point.
That's fair.
Shut down SnapTube?
Again, that's more the question of the episode rather than the scene. Trying to bring Goldenboy and friends in.
Good.
Or maybe making it like shutting down the hotel and making sure that anybody who aids and abets will prosecute. That must feel good.
Yeah, how about this? My objective is that Kingery Corp, or rather your father, will realize that you're just dangerous criminals that need to be brought to justice for the good of society. And that's what he'll shift to. Instead of more or less still thinking of you as his son that he needs to help find the right path, he'll give up on you. That's my objective. Yeah, there's my objective. Goldenboy's father gives up on him. concise and terrible. All right, with that, we'll move in. I will claim the number 4. Turns out that, it happens to be that, drawing blanks on names here. Did we give your father a name? Let's do that now.
Brass man.
Somebody else, maybe. No.
Your
Right.
boy, he could be brass man.
Somebody else, maybe. I feel like that equaled like Opti. That was terrible.
Goldenboy has a last name on the sheet, doesn't he?
McMahon?
McMahon, okay.
Vince.
So it's
Max McMahon. Max McMahon?
Mac.
Mac
I got it.
McMahon.
Mac. He's Mac.
Mac McMahon. Okay, there we go. Officer Mac Brass Balls McMahon.
He goes by Big Mac.
Yeah, there we go. Also his favorite sandwich at Big Sandwich.
Our hope.
It's not one that's on the menu, but that's what he calls it.
Our hope is that
everything and...
Big Sandwich will never serve Big Mac again.
Right. So remind me, what was your actual hope? Oh yeah, getting him give his testimony to Snapchat, SnapTube, whether he realizes he's doing it or not. Probably tricking him into it. But okay, sounds good. Let's go ahead and start then as your dad's patrol car pulls into the lot with a couple of lawjack patrols like zipping away. Just obviously they're sort of like slinking off, but your dad still pulls into the lot and stops and gets out, starts to look around. It doesn't seem like he knows which room you're in, but it looks like he's here for somebody, and he might be looking for you. As I do that, I will claim the number 4 and remind everyone of the special rules. Round robin, violence is ugly. Stand together has not been used. And the resistance token is, I lost the last scene, so it's still mine. I lost it by you selling out, so I get to keep the resistance token.
And the score is 0-0 because we sold out both times.
Yeah, let's go with the score here again. 0-0. Let's check in about sold out convictions as well. How many sold out convictions does Panda have?
1.
And Char is up to 2, I think.
2, yeah.
And Goldenboy has 1 as well.
And so does Truce.
Right. And Truce. All right, and as far as on the big picture, there's 4 authority things and 2 useful offender things. So been moving the needle in that direction. But you'll need to start winning actual scenes, not just by selling out, if you'd like to keep that going.
Yeah.
So, looks like your dad's here. What's going on?
I'll stand up.
All right, roll a dice. 4. Okay, one of the new rules I added to this version of Misspent Youth is if you roll the number that ends the scene or the struggle on the very first dice roll of the struggle, instead you pick an adjacent number and pretend it didn't happen.
Cool. I rolled so I got a 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to use cool. I want to jump. For what floor are we? Are we on the top floor or bottom floor?
I imagine it's like one of those 2-story no-tell motels. Up to you which floor you're on.
Wait, I'm going to say we're 2nd floor because I jumped from the floor down. My dad says, Hi, Father. How are you doing now? Just, laid back on, like, the stairs or something. Like, hello, Dad. How are you?
All right.
Like, hello, Father. How are you? Forgot I'm Jake.
All right. I will claim the number 6. Your father reacts. He's startled to see you, and then sort of gets his composure. First looks a bit angry, but then sort of steels himself and gets that sort of stony, detached look on his face. I thought I might find you here. Glad you're making it easy. Congratulations on your graduation. That was a rather strange way to do that. You do realize that Kingu Corp is watching you very closely now. You and your terrorist magician friend.
Watching us? Really? Kango Corp watched us? I would have never thought.
This isn't a game, son. We need to get you back on track. Come home with me now, turn in your friends, and we'll find a way to make this work.
I don't know.
Claim the number 6.
I'll stand
well,
up.
Chase, you can't stand up again, because, yeah, okay.
All right.
All right, roll the dice. Oh!
No!
Oh! Oh, my.
Well,
This has been a terrible episode for us.
So you rolled a 6, which is the number that I just claimed. So that would be bad, unless someone wants to do a teamwork thing, or if you want to sell out.
Help me.
What's going to happen? It seems like Panda could use a little help.
So what I was.
So first, you describe what your conviction is you're using, and then describe how it's not going to be enough.
So I was going to use sneaky, and basically, especially since Jace's dad just mentioned the terrorist magician friend, I kind of slink into the shadows with my very, very tiny camera and kind of record this interaction and try to be out of sight for it. But
yeah, okay, sorry, go on. I was jumping in, but I should butt out.
But where I stepped, the movement actually catches his dad's eye, and he sees that I'm. He sees me come into view, and gets ready to react. Help!
Okay.
Help!
Yeah, he sees you, and yeah, I guess would either of you others like to? Let's see, what's the name of this rule again? Keep thinking of it as teamwork makes the dream work, and that's just not going to be what it's going to be called. I'm sorry.
Stand up together?
Stand together. There we go.
Stand together, yeah.
All right. I can do that.
All right, we're going to stand together. You pick a conviction and describe how you're helping overcome that. And instead of losing or rolling the dice, you get to place your token wherever you want that isn't claimed already. But it doesn't end the struggle. It keeps it going.
I think thematically it would have to be using unauthorized magician. So taking out a tooth and fiddling with it, and then maybe some kind of illusion, maybe a lawjack lieutenant or admiral, or I don't know what it's called, outside calling for Big Mac. Come back outside for a minute.
They're standing out in the parking lot. So.
Or, okay, so then, coming over the radio. Big Mac, answer. This is Lawjack Captain, or Lawjack. What's above a captain? Lawjack General McGee. you fit those young offenders with cement galoshes yet?
All right, so yeah,
he's a gangster. I don't know. He's
like
a gangster.
So yeah, there's a call that sort of your father's like he's about to look up and see Panda, and then the call takes his attention away back, like turns away towards. He yells at his partner, "Hey, take that call. Just let him know we're in progress." And he turns back to Goldenboy and says, "Never mind. Forget your friends. You don't have to turn them in. I know that would be too hard for you, but listen, your Yojin training, it needs to continue. Your powers are getting out of control. It's affecting your emotions. It's affecting your judgment. We need to get you back on the right track before this becomes irreversible. But yeah, before I claim a token, I need you all to claim one. So because you did the stand together, you can choose whichever one you want.
Opti, choose 7.
All right, you chose 7.
Yeah, 7 seems. I was gonna think of it as a reason not to.
And I'll choose 8. That might be the reason not to. So yeah, it seems like Goldenboy's father is turning more to a little bit more of an empathetic take and describing the sort of situation that Jace is in is, yeah, maybe he's not really in his right mind.
All right, I'll stand up.
All right, roll a dice. Oh.
2. And I'll just double down.
Hold on a minute. No. I'm instead of waiting for you guys to roll bad, I want to play with a resistance token. I'm going to make you re-roll that and hope that you get a bad result. So this gives you the resistance token after this roll, but so re-roll that.
Yay!
3.
That was not worth it. But,
it was absolutely worth it.
I'll remember that in the future. All right, go on.
The conviction I used, the unauthorized magician, I can't use that anymore, right?
Not again this struggle. Yeah.
And also,
you can only use conviction once per struggle.
Did you choose 2 because I used the sold out conviction?
Well, you probably choose it now.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
Opti.
You chose 9, yeah.
Play 9.
Hey, we are doing an actual play. The rules of actual plays are different than
so
Sunday evening.
In one of them, it's not. It's don't cheat, but not in the other.
You can't. Yeah, cheating in an AP is like worse because you're telling everybody else who's watching how to.
Oh,
play
I
along.
see. I thought Sarah was chiding you for doing the rule that lets me place 2, and in fact, she's actually chiding you for not being dishonest.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I know where we stand here.
I am going to. I'm going to sort of saunter to the partner. I know that.
Sorry, which one are you using? Conviction?
Oh, sorry, Rich.
Okay.
Profligate. Sorry.
Another sold out one.
You know what? Whatever. Let's just do this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, whatever.
This episode's going great.
So good.
Losing is fun.
This is the.
They're gonna be pissed.
So I'm going to use Profligate, and I'm going to approach the partner on the sly. And I know that Big Mac isn't on the take, but maybe his partner will be. And so I'll be like, hey, like, what's your number to, like, create a distraction and get Big Mac out of here? Like, honestly. Like, I'll start at 5,000 and just keep going. Tell me what your number is. Get us out of this.
All right, he gives you a number. It's pretty high, but it's within your means. And you transfer it over. He says, all right, you won't be arrested by the Big Mac. I'll take you and myself. And he puts handcuffs on you. And he has Char handcuffed. And I claim 2 numbers, 2 and 10. With the closest adjacent ones. And now we have satisfied the round robin rule. Anyone can stand up. You've got the resistance token, which allows you a reroll if you give it to me. Who's going to stand up? Unless you just want to let me win.
I will.
All right.
Okay.
Roll the dice. There's so much more red on this than green.
Yeah?
And yet.
5!
Hey! That's one of the green ones.
Very good. Very good.
My heart is pounding so fast.
Oh my god.
All right, who rolled the 5 before?
Me.
That was you, and you used a cool conviction. So between cool and whatever you're using, Panda, go ahead and describe how you win and get the confession out of Mr. Mac McMahon Big Mac. Mac Big Mac McMahon.
So,
there we go.
Oh man, Big Mac, Big Man.
No, it's Mac. It's Mac, Big Mac, Big Man.
Mac, Big Mac, Big Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easy to remember. Mac, Big Mac,
Exactly.
Big Man.
Big Mac, Big Man.
Good
Mac, Big Mac,
lord.
Big Man. I can't believe I've actually said that correctly without stumbling
Right?
over it.
Like
Right.
multiple times in a row.
We're gonna clip that too.
Mac, Big Mac, Big Man.
All right.
All right.
So
So seeing what Jace is leading to in terms of asking his dad some of these kind of leading pointed questions and having the conversation of why he should go with him and like what he's seen the Lawjacks do, I make sure that I'm better hidden this time and turn the mic volume way up so that we can hear that kind of testimony about as I live stream it directly to what's it called? Snapbook?
SnapTube.
SnapTube. So I upload it directly there and expose all of these stories that he shares about the injustices of the Lawjacks.
All right. You have a win on the board.
Woo!
One now, a clean win. So since you win ties, you could actually theoretically lose one scene and then sell out another if things go badly with the dice and still win the episode. But that would be fairly costly since you've already sold out 2 convictions this
Yeah.
episode. So yeah, we'll see how that rolls and how much it's going to cost you, or maybe even if you'll just fail even though you've got the advantage right now. We'll see. It's not certain, but move on to the reflection. I think as we move on to the reflection, there's conversation happening, videos are being posted, there's a montage of like these different things being said. Like I imagine sort of going to sort of montage mode as it's sort of fading back and the soundtrack music is playing, like the instrumental section kind of the beginning of Return of the Mac. Which I once,
Awesome.
as a wedding DJ, that was the groom's favorite song, and I swear he had me play that like 6 or 7 times. A couple times it was back to back, and that is a long song. It's very repetitive. But hey, it's a good time, so I did my job. Anyway, so as we move into reflection here, well, the final outcome is that your hope was to get the confession from Dad. I'm curious, at the end of this scene, though, there's a couple of things that haven't been resolved yet. Why don't we move into them with scene 4? We'll let those be unresolved for now and sort of do a hard cut at the moment and go into the reflection questions. Again, they're posted in various places throughout the document, but I'm on page 30. Start with some reflection questions. Who would like to start?
I'll go. Goldenboy, how do you feel about what just happened?
I feel sick. I happy this is happening. That's my dad still, so I'm sad that it's coming. It's like he had to specify, but I know that this is something that we did and something that needed to happen. And I am pulling out the cool because I'm a golden boy, but inside I am just like torn because there's like a lot of feelings and hormones and all that stuff that's just buried all together. It's not a good place. But anyway, what? What do you think your siblings think of you with all this stuff that's been happening?
I am honestly scared to find out, which is why I haven't reached out to them. I'm afraid, and I haven't offered to replace our phones or anything like that because I'm afraid of what Beatty might think, and that I might have disappointed or let her down. So I'd rather make sure we're at a point where, like, I know what she stands for, and so if we've achieved that, like, if we can end up being kind of the heroes, and I can redeem myself in her eyes that way, then maybe I can reach out to her and stuff. But, like, that's stressful and anxiety inducing, so I haven't been thinking about it a whole lot because what has changed about how you view one of the other YOs? I'm asking this to myself.
About which other YO?
About that's what I was just thinking. But I think about Jace. I still largely do not understand Jace. How he can go from screaming at me and Char in an alley to all of a sudden screaming at the right people and kind of becoming the face of the movement in that way, and what he did with his dad. I'm proud of him for that, and I'm in awe of his bravery for that, but I still don't understand, like, what makes him tick and what made that change.
All right. I have a reflection question to ask.
Ooh.
All of you and the chat, as this is still, in kind of a development. I think most of the rules have pretty well been hammered out by now. But I am reflecting on the nature of the reflection questions. That maybe, do you think it's too many questions? Because we do a bunch and then we do another friendship question. I'm feeling like maybe you should cut it back to one person asks a reflection question instead of everyone does it. But then again, I also do like the back and forth and the sort of introspection and world building and it sort of helps with the storytelling momentum of those questions. Have you found the questions more or less too much to where cutting it back to one would be a good move? Or do you like all of this? And chat, feel free to answer as we go. And I don't know if any of you have an immediate response.
I think I do. When I was learning how to play, they stressed me out a little bit because I was like, oh, I have to have one for every scene, and I'm, like, empowered to change them up, but also I don't have to, but also I'm not, like, sure what to ask or what not to ask. But as I got kind of used to them throughout playtests and, like, into this, there's been times where I'm really looking forward to them because, like some of my questions have ended up being like, what the hell just happened? And why did you decide to do that? So, like, I think that was more exciting for me when, like, something in the scene happened. It was like, what? Where is your brain? So, but, like, maybe even the you have to lean more into you have to do at least one, but you can do more because, like, there could have been a point where I was like actually a couple scenes ago when we did the episode question, I was like, but I have a reflection question. So, like, I don't know. I think that they're good, but as per comfortable, like, sometimes there's not a whole lot to talk about, and sometimes there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, currently I think I'm leaning towards cutting it back to one, but I really like your suggestion of, like, one, but more if you wanna.
What if, like in the beginning where we all ask a friendship question to get things started, what if at the end we all ask one reflection question, like just one at the end of each scene, but then at the end of an episode we all ask a reflection question?
Interesting. I like that idea too.
That is cool. Something I really like, the friendship questions that we do at the beginning of episode 1, where, like, we all get to kind of make up the relationships and the world and the story together. So I might even recommend at the beginning of every episode to have a round robin of friendship questions so that we can keep building that, and I like that.
Cool. Well, I think enough game design discussion for now. Let's move on to the friendship question for scene 4. Who's going to ask?
I think it's probably wrapped back around to me. So I will talk to Goldenboy again. No. Sorry, this will make more sense. I think it'll be a better story if I ask Panda. Panda, why did I tell you about what happened with Dr. Howard?
Can you refresh Panda's memory about what happened with Dr. Howard?
In my backstory, I have a person, my mentor, Dr. Leanne Howard, studying paranormal phenomenon and wanting to train me, but I became impatient with her instruction, barreled ahead, and made an error. And afterwards, after the resulting disruptive wrong experiment, Dr. Howard has not been the same. I think there might be something spiritually wrong with them.
They cut you off immediately after, which might have made sense considering you overstepping your authority or bounds as a student there.
There's some spooky mystery there, but yeah.
You told me because since your kind of access to her was cut off and you couldn't keep an eye on her and what happened after the accident, you asked me to, and you kind of explained what happened, and so you asked me to kind of give you periodic updates and just check in on behavior, what kind of has her research shifted, what can I find online, what can I find through surveillance that's maybe different, and because if it becomes an issue, you feel responsible. So
I think. Go ahead.
So you trusted me with that because of what I can do with breaching.
I think I'm going to dogpile a bit with the world building as the authority here and say that Panda has recently checked up on Howard and found that she has been taken in for questioning by Kingery Corp, linked to possibly trading an unauthorized dangerous magician. It's up to you whether or not you share that information with Char, but that's something you've discovered.
We'll find out in this next scene.
Speaking of which, instead of the normal setting the scene here, I'm going to pick things up right where we left off and just jump right into a struggle. That just feels dramatically appropriate right now.
Cool.
So you've got the confession out of your dad. You're still standing there out in the parking lot with him. Panda is nearby, up on the second story or in the bushes or something. Got everything just brilliant, perfect. You've got all just amazing material. Char is in handcuffs and is being stuffed in the back of the patrol car by Big Mac McMahon's partner. And this is the scene where the theme is we're losing. Just like it seems like you're winning, the authority hits back hard. So basically what's going on here is that I'm gonna hit back hard and be mean. Char is going to get arrested. Goldenboy is going to go back with his dad and probably get stuffed into a different, maybe sent away to Lawjack camp or something in another town or whatever. And Panda, you can get away and post stuff on Metabook, but your friends are getting captured, so to speak. Let's say Panda gets captured too. Yeah, everybody gets caught. That's my hope, or objective, I mean. What is your hope?
Our hope.
Get away. I mean.
I feel like maybe we have enough material, including what's happening right now, to really rally the community against Kingery Corp, and it's time to take action on that and get the community to rise up against Kingu Corp and their lawjacks.
So general mainstream resistance to Kingu Corp.
Mm-hmm. It's not just us against them, it's everyone against them.
Okay. Maybe you could be a bit more specific, though. What would you like them to do? Besides just be like, rah, we're in it too.
Strike and boycott.
Boycott seems possible.
Boycott Kingu Corp.
Yeah, which is difficult to do, but maybe the tent city and all this other stuff building up to has been providing some avenues for, with all the monetizations and everything, some alternate sources of goods and food and whatnot. So, yeah, I like that. So my hope is that you all get nabbed, and my objective, and your hope is that people rise up and, crap, what was the thing they're doing?
Boycott.
Boycott. Rise up and boycott. There we go. Mm-hmm. Will undermine demonetization and the authority of Kingu Corp. All right, got it. So, special rules. The resistance token is in my hands again because I lost. I won't waste it this time. All the other special rules are in play as normal. Round robin. Violence is ugly. Stand together is now off the table because it was used, though it did carry you to a win, so I suppose it was used well. Better than my resistance token was. And we'll start the struggle by claiming the numbers 5 and 9. So your father says, all right, you know what? I'm going to get you out of this. I'm going to get you out of this bad space that you're in, out of this bad place, and get you back on track. I'm going to send you off to... let's see, what's the name of another city? I'm going to send you off to the Lawjack Academy in Paris, France, and you can finish your education there. It'll be better. We've got some family that way, and I can stay with them. I'll put in for a transfer. And so, yeah, it seems like your dad's got his mind set to help you move away, which is perhaps a bit touching, but also maybe not what you want to do. Also, in the back, the lawjack that's put the handcuffs on Char says, oh, yeah, that's right. You got that magic stuff. Better make sure you can't use it. And then you hear the wind up of the shock baton just before it strikes you, and you start getting zapped. And Char is getting electrocuted back behind the cop car. He's trying to knock you unconscious with it, but says, oh, it might take a few zaps, and zaps you another time. And you're having your Luke at the Emperor's feet moment of your own.
I stand up.
Okay, awesome. You're standing up, but I will finish my thing by claiming I also claim a second number. I claim the number 9.
I don't like it.
I know.
7!
What you got? Oh, good
right.
one. What conviction are you using?
I am using my sneaky again. And I'm gonna, now that I've gotten everything that I needed from Jace's dad, I'm gonna kind of sneak around and record what's happening with Char. And I'll say, like you said before, I'm on the second story. And so I'm looking down and whispering as we live stream this, now's your time to help us. Now's your time to stand up against this injustice. Look at what's happening to a kid. Is this what you want for the future of your children? And so on.
All right. Yeah, I'm just picturing Char getting like zapped, and you like got the camera on and catch Char's eye and give them a thumbs up.
Cry a little harder.
All right. So yeah, you're not really so much knocked out as like twitchy and drained and can barely move and exhausted. And Char is tossed into the back of the cop car, and Big Mac McMahon turns. Oh, that was my first failure on it. Turns back towards it and says, "Oh, I see that we've arrested the magician." I was actually kind of hoping they would get away, but orders are orders. Come on, son. Let's go get this over with. And It seems that Char has been arrested and locked up in the back of the cop car. It's about to be carted off. I am moving towards achieving my objective, so I'm just going to claim number 6 now.
I suppose I will stand up.
How are you going to do that? Oh, yeah. Roll the dice.
I will lay down. I claim number 8.
Right.
And I am going to use my smart. I'm going to talk all about how you are breaking, Neo-Babylonian law code number, MARD 1492, which states that unless you caught me doing something that damages property, you can't arrest me, blah, 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 blah. Something that sounds very smart like that to sort of get me out of this.
You get his attention, so it buys him a little time. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Were you trying to cast a spell there? I better make sure that you can't talk." And then he takes this dirty napkin out of a bag of fast food, a big sandwich bag, from his Big Mac, and wiping his greasy fingers on it, balls it up and shoves it into your mouth, so your mouth is stuffed full of that. There you go. That's much better. And
Fair stuff. I guess I'll stand up.
I claim number 10. All right, roll.
Oh.
Oh, wait. Ah, I have the resistance token.
No. Yep, we already knew it was going to be. And
Yep,
that's
there you
a
go.
5.
All right, that's how it's supposed to go down. Yep. So you don't have the stand together option. All you're left with is sell out or take the loss.
Sell out. Or no, don't sell out. Take the loss. That way it'll put us at the very end. It'll be 1-1 going into the last round.
You can afford it because you do win on a tie. You have 1 point so far, and the authority has none. Paris was not my objective. It was just that you get nabbed, right?
I know. Okay, we lose.
I win. So the authority gets a point. It's 1-1. Hopefully I can get one next time. You will. Oh yeah, that makes me feel extra happy because in scene 5, the resistance token is no longer in play. So no, you don't.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying this too much.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it.
So yeah, I get to describe what happens, but which conviction did you try to use that just didn't turn out to be enough?
I was going to use altruism to try to save Char. I was going to run over there and try to save them.
All right, you go to do that, but your father's grip is firm on your shoulders. No, you can't help them. They're going to have a tough time, but there's nothing you can do to make it better for them. You've got to think about your future now. Leads you back to the cop car and try to get something up to do something, but then you sort of see Char there, and well, at least Char's not getting hurt anymore. You're put in the back of the cop car next to Char, and you're driven off to the station. They drop Char off for processing, but as Big Man's partner takes Char in for that, and then drives you home. Says, go ahead and pack your things. We'll be leaving in 2 days.
Billy Berserker.
You'll be leaving in 2 days.
Billy Berserker asks if they're called La Jacques in France.
Yes, the La Jacques Academy. Les La Jacques Academy. This is my French. So yeah. Let's see. A reflection in this. Oh yeah, a reflection question. Let's just do the one and maybe more for this one. So let's do a mandatory reflection question, and then there could be some non-mandatory ones if you like.
I have one, but everybody else go first. It's stupid, but it's funny to me.
Well, if you have one, then
person to
it's all
speak
you.
up. So
Do it.
yeah, you should do it.
Is this my origin story turned into Crimson Mask?
Only you can answer that.
You know, in a future book of Misspent Youth, Opti is creating a superhero one. So, Crimson Mask might
It
be...
might be. This is the origin story. Yes, it is. I'm going to do something reckless. Okay, yep, that's my answer. This is the origin story.
Brought to you by Big Sandwich. Crimson
Big
Mask.
sandwich.
All right. So yeah, moving into scene 5. It's the last scene of the episode. Who's winning? It's actually one of the first times we've gone into scene 5 with it already not being predetermined who's going to win the episode based on how the scoring has gone. So I'm excited about that. Let's open things up with a friendship question. Who's got one?
Already asked 2, so not me.
Oh, that said, I did roll past the reflection question things a little faster. Did anyone else have one you want to ask before we do the friendship question? Or are you fine with us moving on?
I'm fine with moving on.
Sounds good. I will take the remaining hesitation from Opti as the time to move on. So,
I have no hesitation.
okay. Just gonna keep me in suspense then.
No, I don't have anything, guys. I'd say I opened with I asked one last time, so I'm not going to ask one this time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Actually, here to right now. Hey, Char, how'd I let you down?
When I told you that I thought Dr. Howard might have been possessed by some sort of otherworldly entity, you laughed at me and said, that's not true because the Ukim Council of Babylon would never let such a thing happen, so I'm making it up.
Man, Jace, why you gotta be a dick?
Wasn't really being a jerk. It's just, it's just not plausible, right?
Doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's totally. It hurts my chest saying
You're
this.
being hysterical.
Oh. Oh God, I gotta write that one down. Oh.
Excellent. Scene 5.
Yeah, so scene 5, the YOs went on the offensive, the authority hit back hard, now it's the real battle. I will choose a system of control that's going to be used against you, but likely targeted by resistance efforts. I think meta book, because an authority figure that will act directly against you, I'm going to go with maybe the Logic Captain. And then also, let's talk about that episode question. Will a new platform or a less used platform, SnapTube, rise up to challenge MetaBook's dominance? So, I guess let's pick up at where we're at. How y'all coping? What are you doing? Char just got taken into jail, actual jail, and is probably wrapped up like Hannibal Lecter for part of it. Old movie reference, Silence of the Lambs. By the way, very problematic. Don't go watch it. It has good moments, but yeah, demonized trans people as a shortcut to the bad guy being a bad guy.
There were other gross parts too.
There were other gross parts, but that's one that stands out in my memory. Is like I'm definitely not gonna go back and watch that again. But Jodie Foster and that other dude, Anthony Hopkins, they were great. And as far as I could tell, never mind.
So it's been a few weeks, and I'm curious how Goldenboy is enjoying Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Goldenboy.
A few weeks and Goldenboy is in Paris now. Is
What?
Goldenboy in Paris, or did
No,
Goldenboy
Goldenboy ran away.
ran away and
Oh.
didn't go to Paris? Oh, okay.
Goldenboy ran.
So Goldenboy is a fugitive again. Panda is as well wanted by Kingu Corp. Not officially, of course, but you know this now. Yeah, you put out your videos, or maybe getting ready to. Have you released that content on SnapTube?
It was direct to live stream in case they caught me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Unfiltered.
So maybe then, yeah, you didn't get run away from your father. Your father was arrested by the Lawjack captain and brought in as a Lawjack traitor for saying those things live. He's in big trouble, and you were going to be arrested too, but he take the back door, I'll stall, and it barely worked. I like that idea better.
I like that.
So that happened.
You just humanized him. I was going to say sucks to suck, but now, really help Chase.
Oh, no.
He cared about me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm leaning into this sort of bittersweet, or is it bitterness, or is it going to be sweet, this relationship there? Because it's something I can really crush and make you feel it.
Yep.
So I'm setting myself up for that victory. But yeah, playing the longer game. So yeah, your dad helped you sort of in a way get away, and yeah, he's been in the authority. He's been basically in trouble, like in jail himself now. They figured out some excuse to put him in jail, and things aren't going well for any of your parents. The other question for you, Panda, is: did you reveal to Char somehow that you get to Char the information that Char's old mentor, Professor Howard, was actually taken into custody by Kingery Corp because of their connection to Char?
I don't think there was time.
There wasn't time, no, but wondering if you managed to share that. It hasn't been a priority. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're kind of split up. I guess the Crimson Face dude. What is your fancy
Crimson
name?
Mask.
Okay. Is probably teaming up with Panda, and maybe Char has a. Yeah, I know. I guess you guys could set the scene if you want. I'm spitballing ideas here. Char probably has a hearing of some kind at some point, where they're going to appear in court. That might be an option to do something. Maybe you want to try to bust Char out, or maybe something else. I don't know. Any other ideas? You could be visiting Char in jail, which would probably not be good because some of you're wanted too. So.
Yeah.
And that didn't go so well last time. That's what I got. Anybody? So feel free to use that, or rely on the friendship question that was asked, and the episode question.
Goldenboy.
Mm-hmm.
You look uncomfortably excited. Do you have a plan for how to help Char?
I am going to avail that I'm the Crimson Mask on SnapTube. Here goes what we're going to do. Okay, here's the plan.
I'm never going to call you that.
All right, before we move on, sounds like we're actually in the scene.
Yeah.
Where are you having this conversation?
My tent?
Your tent, yes. At
Tent
your
City,
tent.
got it. Okay.
Tent City, cool. All right, so okay, here's my idea. And by the way, you could tell that I'm off right now. Okay, so can't have you near this because you'll get hurt. You know, I heart you, but you'll get hurt. So here goes what I'm thinking. Okay, you set up a droid, right? Where he follows me to the jail, and I say something like, for justice or whatever, I come up with it. I can do that when I'm angry, and I use my powers. First, I gotta make myself bleed. Yeah, because I gotta see the Crimson Mask. and then I go and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. But I that's all I got because I am have not had sleep for a while.
So you want me to make a droid, and you want to make your face bloody. That's what you've got.
And break them out. Yes.
And break them out. Okay, the goal is breaking them out. I can help with that.
In the tent city, someone else speaks up. Hey, yeah, I want to help. I can help break somebody out. Everybody here is ready to do stuff.
Yeah, why don't we use our community? Like, let's show them that we're not going to take this shit anymore. Let's go, like, protest at the prison and say to release Char.
Yeah, we can protest, and while y'all protesting, I can take in the back, break the thing, and get them released.
As we're sort of mentioning Char, we'll cut to the scene of Char in the cell. Char maybe looks a little bit better than we last saw them. They're not wearing the Hannibal Lecter stuff anymore. They had their hearing where it was ruled that they would have to be fitted with basically have to wear this special bracelet that locks on that essentially causes you incredible pain if you attempt to use magic. And after that, you're sort of not tied up all the time. But, that's not good either. But you're in a cell. What are you doing? How are you feeling? What are you thinking?
I assume they have not taken my teeth out. They
have not.
My Anuon teeth, so...
That would be weird.
Well...
I mean, you could use them, but I don't think they made the connection that they unlock magic
that's
power
what I was
for you.
hoping. I'm basically like doing my new weird ritual where I am meditating with my teeth, rolling them around, as if they're some sort of very dark arcane prayer beads or something.
I hate this so much.
And I presume that I'm maybe just trying to teach myself new spells, like one very small effect at a time. This is not the most effective way to learn magic, but I keep trying weird new things.
Picturing Char wincing in terrible pain each time, sometimes bleeding from the nose.
Right.
The backlash of the mage lock bracelet.
Yeah, maybe trying to figure out, like, if I can do small stuff, then maybe, like, if I can overload it at a certain point. If I really try, maybe I can overload it, or just memorizing formulas, right?
So you can't really see all the way outside, but you can see a bit out into the yard where there's a wall on the other side. You can hear, it sounds like there's something of a commotion going on out there. Starting to build up is, the protest is starting, and the camera shifts to outside as the other useful offenders are arriving on the scene, and I think we're going to move into the fifth struggle right away.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Seems appropriate to me narratively, so... when playing Misspent Youth, I think part of the thing when playing the Authority is kind of knowing when to reach for the struggle and when to sort of sit back and let things roll out a bit more. I've generally found that organically it feels like there's an appropriate moment for the struggle most of the time. And that's what I usually roll with. There have been a few times I've played the game where it kind of felt like, how are we going to go into a struggle from here? And it's been a little bit less easy to roll into it, but those have been, I would say, rare exceptions compared to the times where it's felt like, hey, now it feels like a good time to do a struggle. So, let's see, I think your hope is to get Char out, right? And do the whole big reveal of Crimson Mask on SnapTube.
I mean...
Does that sound? I mean, it sounds like what you were setting up. Is that it?
That's what I set up, but it's up to everybody else too.
Maybe reveal once and for all that Kingu Corp should stop giving Strickland control of anything whatsoever.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah. Cause I can do that's my stuff too. That works. It all works in together and concurrent.
I think Jace is playing his own game now.
I'm actually played. Never mind. Jace is right now. Anyway.
All right.
So yeah, I've got a pretty big deal hope. So my big deal objective is that Snap Tube gets bought out by Kingu Corp. Because they see it as a threat and they have money.
But I own it. I made
They'll
it.
buy it out and you will lose it.
You have
Because
money.
corporations. Not as much money as Kingu Corp has.
Eat poopy.
And
You do. You eat poopy.
Help! A turd!
Sorry, what were you saying, Char?
I was going to say maybe our hope could be that this gets whatever happens here is over the top and gets loaded up to Snap Tube and causes it to explode with people wanting to see it. But I mean,
I think that part of it is sort of related to the episode question, which I think we'll
I was hoping to lead
tie
into
that to the end. But yeah, I think that's a good instinct. So for special rules in the struggle, we've got round robin. Violence is ugly. Those are as they were. Resistance token is no longer used. Stand together has already been used, so it's not available to you. But there is a special rule that's different for this one. It's called Desperate Circumstances. This is a desperate battle where you have to go all out and really lean into your grit. So if you use your sold out convictions or your disorder, that's actually favorable and the authority will claim numbers as normal. But if you don't go all in and use one of your not sold out or not disorder convictions, then I get to claim double numbers on my turn, just like with the violence is ugly. So I guess what I'm saying is if you want to use a pure conviction, you might as well use it to kill somebody. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Might as well off somebody right quick. Make it worth it.
All right. So, yes, I will start things by, you got the protest going on, but it seems like the Lawjecks were expecting something, and there's riot vehicles that pull up, and there's Lawjecks roll it out with their stepping the ranks with their stun batons and riot shields, and standing at the back of them, leading everything, is the Lawjack captain himself. What is the Lawjack captain's name?
Chad.
Chad? Yeah, that's his last name. Captain Chad. Yes. Captain Chad, and he's a total Chad, right? He's like super
Chad.
built. He's like, he wins all these contests. He's like super good looking. And, you know, as he's getting older, he's just getting more of the silver fox look instead of like sliding. Like, he is the absolute captain of all Chads.
Chad, right.
Captain Chad.
Protein drink every hour on the hour.
I'm crying a little bit. I'm
Billy Berserk in the
sorry.
chat suggested Captain Kirk, so Kirk is his first name. He's Captain Kirk Chad. Yes. Brilliant. And he looks just like a young... Oh, I'm so bad with names.
Actually, his nickname is Chad because he's such a Chad that his name should have been Chad. His first name is Kirk. Everybody calls him Chad. But he's such a Chad.
Well, yeah, he usually uses last names in the Logic culture anyway. So,
Yeah.
Shay, I'm sorry if I'm over-explaining the joke, but if you didn't know, Opti's first name is Chad. Okay.
I caught that.
Yeah.
I'm wrong with it. Yes, I am.
He's Captain Kirk. He's Captain Kirk Tiberius Chad.
That's beautiful.
And,
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts.
Laugh it up.
yep. And he looks just like Chris Pine.
Hey, that's nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but it was so funny.
All right. See all the power that comes from just the simple mechanic of having the youthful offenders name the authority figures? Like, it's not just coming up with the name. There's all this meaning that gets attached. Suddenly a character blooms into... So yeah, Chad with his...
Is that what happened?
Captain Captain Kirk T. Chad is standing out there leading the Lawjack troops and says, all forms of force are authorized, so we will begin with non-lethal force to disperse you. There are no guarantees of your safety if you resist. Please, resist. My boys could use the workout. You notice there's like multiple genders among the Lawjacks. You know, that's what Captain Chad says. So I will claim the number 6. Nobody standing up? I guess I win. Huh?
No.
I'll stand up. Fine.
All right.
I don't have an answer yet, but I will do something. Hey!
Good number. Clap, clap, clap.
And I will use my profligate again. Because what is money even?
Make it rain.
And I'll start clinking. My mage. What would you call them? Mage cuffs.
You can call them whatever you want.
You said something. I forgot what they were called.
Your teeth?
Arcane hamperers.
I thought you meant you're clinking your mage lock.
My mage locks or whatever they are. Clink them on the the bars and sort of hollering, and I was like, hey, if anybody can get me out of here, then I will pay off your car note.
That's good.
Yeah, so it seems like you've got a taker. One of the guards steps up and says, all right, you're gonna like that bill when I show it to you, but I'll get you out of here. They're all distracted in the front with some sort of protest. You can go out the back.
Excellent.
So looks like a Lawjack's opening things up and starting to get you out of there. But the timing is just so terrible, or maybe it's not a coincidence, but it seems that someone has come in to have a special interview or visit or something, and there is another Lawjack guard that is escorting. Strickland is here, and he sees you. He says, "What are they doing out of the cell?" Bludgeon them into unconsciousness before they can cast anything.
Bludgeon them.
Yes, bludgeon them. And I claim the number 8. It's a weird look. What does bludgeoning mean? Just hit them.
I'm going to stand up if that's okay.
I didn't ask permission. Just stand up.
Well,
right.
I didn't want to stand on top of Shay. All right.
Rolling dice.
Rolling them.
Oh, wait. You used which profligate? That was a sold-out conviction, right? So, good. I only get to claim 1.
11. All right.
All right. Which conviction?
I'm going to use... Oh, this is hard because I don't want you to take 2 numbers.
Well, you can always use your disorder.
Yeah.
You don't want to use your solar conviction.
And I don't know if it would help my motive though. So, I'll go ahead and use. This is a stretch, but I'm gonna use Boundless Curiosity. And while I'm
Is that your disorder?
Yeah.
Okay.
And while I'm recording this whole and releasing the live stream to SnapTube, I start asking questions. What do we want? When do we want it? Why do we want it?
I'm genuinely curious. Like, not trying to start a chant. Like, what do we want again?
What do you want again?
Somebody's like, a big sandwich?
When do we want it?
All right, so you get the protest chants going, and instead of people buckling in the face of the advancing Lawjacks, they sort of stand together and link arms, and they're all in solidarity. But then the Lawjacks get up to them and start pushing against them, and they haven't actually start hitting people yet, but they're starting to push people back in a way, like use the shield wall technique to sort of shove you back.
Don't like it.
And yeah, so then Captain Captain, let's see, Kirk T. Chad speaks up. That's right. Box them up and move them back. I don't see any resistance yet, but as soon as anyone gives any, go ahead and start deploying those shock batons. We'll arrest anyone who gets knocked down. This is your last chance to leave and not break the law. And someone yells like, "Screw you, Lawjacks!" And then Chad just shrugs and says, "All right, start the beating." And the Lawjacks all whip out their shock batons and charge them and raise them to start beating on the relatively defenseless but rather brave-looking protesters. I will claim the number 10.
I really want to, while I'm asking the questions, I really want to shout back, "Are you law jacks or law hacks?"
Okay. Oh, I gotta stand up. Here we go. Let's see. 5. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, this is great. Jace is using chaotic elements, and he is going to. Oh, well, first of all, let's set the stage. Jace is now in like his school clothes, but he dyed it red, and he has like he put ink on his face that looks like blood, but it's just all red tears coming down, and he goes and he jumps up and he used the electricity that they use the shock baton to shock them. But it goes off and is a bigger shock than I was ready for, and some people drop.
Oh yeah, there's this chaotic outburst of like shock energy that shorts out the stun batons, knocks back the Lawjacks. A wave of them are knocked back on their backs, and Captain Chad's hair is sort of blown back and somewhat out of sorts before it falls back perfectly into place.
And I say something like superhero-y, like, and I change my voice because I don't want anybody to know me. Give me a moment.
You wanted the resistance. I am the resistance.
For $25,000 on our Kickstarter, Shay could write the crimson mask setting for Misspent Youth.
All right, so you used your assault conviction, so I'll get to claim one in mine. Good. So yeah, you had this big badass entrance and disabled the stun batons and knocked back the Lawjacks, and you glancing back here, you can see some people on your side are flopping on the ground, doing the taser twitch, but overall looks pretty good right now. Back inside the prison, the prison guard with Strickland moves up to the Lawjack moves up to start bludgeoning Char, but the other guard says, "Oh no, I got a big car payment to make," and starts sword fighting with shocking stun batons with the other Lawjack. It looks like he's managed it. The one on your side is a little bit bigger and is starting to get the upper hand. Strickland sees this and goes, "Oh no, not this time!" He pushes past and moves up to Char and pulls out like from under his jacket this knife. It looks like a kitchen knife. You don't quite know why he's got it on him. Maybe he doesn't quite know why he's got him. I don't know, but he does know now, and he's coming at Char, and he slashes at you, cuts you across the forehead. Blood sprays everywhere. Says, "Nothing else happens. You're not leaving here alive. I can do whatever I want." And I will claim the number 4.
I don't mind.
Round robin has been satisfied, so it's free for all now. Oh. You rolled the number 10.
No!
That is the number that I have claimed. If I win that, then I get to win the whole episode. I get to destroy one of your exploits or come up with a new system of control or authority figure. But no, you're probably going to sell out and take that away from me, aren't you? You're so mean.
I could just delete the red token. That's fine.
We all know what happened already. You can't cheat your way out of this, Sarah. Only Char can cheat their way out of this.
And Char's gonna.
Ready to settle out your third of 5 convictions?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or is it better to just let the authority win the whole shebang?
Nope.
We'll spell out pride. And, so, he pulls out the knife, swings it at me, and I will sort of do this thing where I'll put up my hands and I don't know, how did you describe the mage lock?
It's a bracelet.
Okay. I'll put up the bracelet and knife will hit the mage lock bracelet. And then
okay.
I'll go.
He's already slashed your face.
Right. Yeah.
You can slash the bracelet too, because he's.
And that's sort of what has made me angry. So I'll sell out my pride to be arrogant. I can't be who I was, then better if everybody else in some other way. And I'll say, something to the effect of, I've been working on something. I hope you like it. And I will transmogrify him into some sort of docile pet, like cloth or something. I will grab him, fling him around my back, and start paying off all the lawjacks along the way. Say all sorts of shit that can be caught on camera. Which I think logically connect to how this goes down in the aftermath.
Yeah, so you end up getting out of there. The lawjacks that were knocked down, like they just are either too twitched out or the morale just isn't there, and they don't end up beating down the protesters. They still stick around to sort of keep an eye on the proceedings, but they back off and they don't push things up again. And more people show up to protest, and it seems to be working, and it's really building momentum. And then the news gets out that Char has been released, or by some lawjacks, and apparently some of the lawjacks don't necessarily know this. There's definitely a bit of a PR kerfuffle among the lawjacks. You're not sure if Char just escaped and might get arrested again, or if they're actually officially released, or how that's going to land down. But the important thing is Char is out of prison and only mildly harmed. What was your? Oh yeah, the Crimson Mask made a big entrance, and had their big superhero origin moment. What else? What was your hope again? Oh, the episode question. Yeah, that's what we'll move on to reflection for. So, yeah, the question is, does SnapTube rise up to unseat Metabook in popularity? And I think, you've got some great material. Yeah, you've got a lot of this Logic confession stuff and a lot of really exciting, titillating video clips of various action and a lot of outrages of injustice are just broadly on display, and that draws a lot of people to SnapTube because, well, it's getting locked out of Metabook, and what the people want to see is on a different platform, and so it's shifting away. So yeah, I think we've got SnapTube now as an option. Now, when we move on to the episode score. The score is 1-1. The Authority won 1, the Youthful Offenders won 1, and you sold out 3 convictions. A very costly victory. But those don't count for or against the score, and ties go to the YOs. So you won the episode. Yay! So looking at things, since you won the episode now, you can choose to gain a new exploit, destroy a system of control, destroy an authority figure, or redeem one past sold-out conviction that wasn't sold out this time. And if one of you that is not Char chooses to sell at a conviction, you can double down, go too far, and pick 2 win conditions.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Oh my god.
Because it narratively, I always gotta do it with the story, right? I can't help it.
How many of you already sold out?
1.
Okay.
See? In the story.
We still have 2 weeks of games, guys.
Story, though. Okay?
They redeem one. That could be the whole.
So, the reason why I'm doing this, I think, as everybody can realizes, Jace is starting to do this not for the group of people, but for himself. Maybe because of his anger. Maybe because he just want to fight back. So I'm getting rid of altruism, and I'm going to, whatever that word is. What? I have never seen this word in my life.
I'm coming for you. Let's see, Jace.
Unctuous. Unctuous.
That's how you spell it. Yes.
Full of unction.
Yeah, it's not a common word, but it's in the first book. Maybe I should change it to one that's more recognizable, but I'll think about it. Anyway, carry on. You're selling out unctuous. Why don't you read off what that means?
You never help anyone unless there's something in it for you, even if it's just getting the credit. So I am trying to make it to the front page that Char, escaped. It was because of the efforts of the Crimson Mask.
All right. So what are you doing with this sellout win? Are you going to tear down a system of control or authority figure, create a new exploit, or?
Well, for me, because I said I would, I want to get rid of the constitution of that correction facility. I said I was going to burn it down, so I'm going to do that, and we're going to take that back.
I don't think that's one of their systems of control, though, right?
It's not. Nope. The systems of control that are in play are Metabook. Hold on, let me get to the page. There's Metabook. There's Metabook and demonetization, and the authority figures are the Lawjack Captain and Strickland.
Oh, never mind.
So
Lost right now, but could come back at it.
I would say
it doesn't mean the spell's permanent, or it could be if you decide to get rid of them.
Just get rid of Strickland.
Since we get the 2 because you sold out, I'd say take away Metabook and institute a new exploit, which is SnapTube.
Exploit?
Yeah, that makes sense because SnapTube is sort of the vehicle by which the Crimson Mask is rising to fame, becoming viral on, and Metabook's losing its importance. Narratively, that totally makes sense. But do we want to go with that, or do you want to think about it a little bit more?
That works.
I think if you sold out your...
Yeah, when you sold out your conviction, you absolutely get final say on one of those 2 at least. So
definitely Metabook. Like that was the main thing.
You're destroying Metabook, and then as a group, you're deciding to gain the exploit of SnapTube. So, cool. You know what that means? That means you're tied. You have 3 exploits, and there are 3 systems of control / authority figures. So I do think, actually, next episode, one way or another, we are going to get to the end of the campaign. Do we have more scheduled, or is that the last one?
We have 2 left, because we have the 10th and the 17th.
If it ends or...
No, we could use the next time as a redemption arc for...
That's true. You could, instead of taking the win, you could go with a redemption story. Interesting. But yeah, I think we will actually conclude the campaign. In part, it's a little shorter because I gave the authority fewer systems of control and authority figures than they normally start with. It's normally 8 to 2, but I kind of wanted to see this come to an end. So within the scope of our playing, and yeah, I think we're there. You're dangerously close to losing this series because Char only has 2 convictions, and with round robin, it's not like you can sit out and not risk yourself.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how things go when we get close to that, and that definitely adds some pressure that might suggest how using a redemption arc would be a beneficial thing.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But we've done all the scoring and sorted things out, and narratively, things are going to be in a new, different place next time. I think we can roll credits on the actual play for today.
Yeah, so please, thank you all for joining us, and please, please, please check out the Kickstarter for this awesome game if you enjoyed what you saw today. It's remalternis.com/misspent youth, and we're at $12,000, so we're $3,000 away from our first stretch goal, and with your help we can get there. So please, if you liked it, please support it. You can get PDFs, you can get the soft covers, you can get hardcovers, you can get opportunities to play with some of the creators. So please support if you can.
I got something right quick.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Mike. Derekah, look, we love you. I'm so sorry. Look, you come back to loving arms, but we messed up this episode. So just forgive me, forgive us, and we love you. Don't hurt us. Okay.
I'd be curious to find out where Truce has been.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And if you haven't had enough of Misspent Youth, not only can you catch us right here for the next 2 weeks at 12:30 Central, but we are also next week going to be on Gen Con TV. Yeah, so that's Thursday, May 12th. And we will be on at 4 p.m. Pacific, and that is 6 p.m. Central, with me, Opti, Cliff, and the creator of Misspent Youth, Robert Bull, to have a little pre-show interview. And then during the actual game time, it's our monthly one-shot show, and we're going to play through Misspent Youth with some new faces on stream. So please join us there and catch all the Misspent Youth you want.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you next time.
So can I take a moment to shill something?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I
right.
didn't push the button.
I've just noticed that anytime I talk about it on a stream, actually, someone downloads it or maybe even buys the game. So I thought I would do that again. As a game designer, if you're enjoying our approach to Misspent Youth here, you might enjoy a game that I made and published as part of a zine quest a couple of years ago. Called Funny Freakout. It's a zero prep narrative RPG sort of disguised as a party game where you play a crew of people who are trying to pull off a horror comedy prank show. I see Shay nodding there because he had a great time, and we actually played this together on Rem Alternis sometime in the past. It was a great time. It's a really fun game to just get together with a bunch of friends, and much like my approach to Misspent Youth, it's trying to reach out and bring people into role-playing games in a way that will be easy to jump into. I guess check it out. It's called Funny Freakout. It's on itch.io. Oh, crap. I should have a link. I'm going to do this. Give me a sec.
It was very fun. I was top, as you can imagine.
What?
It was great. We was in a Blockbuster, I believe.
The last Blockbuster, yes.
The last Blockbuster that exists. We was there. I think it was like a co-op. Like he wasn't the target was like trapped, and he's like in trouble, and I was in trouble, and I was just being his quote unquote best friend, and it was. I think there was goose blood somewhere.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah, I think there was. I think there was that too.
Good, wholesome fun.
Good wholesome fun.
And I put the link in there. It is meant to be a wholesome game as well too. So with the idea that you're sort of giving the person you're tricking a good time. You're not just trying to scare them and laugh at them. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and Yeah, I'd like to see some more people check it out. It only costs $5, but also there are community copies that you can grab for free if you want, because I like the idea of people being able to get things without having to pay money for them if they need to. So feel free to get a copy of that for money or for free if you want at the link I posted.
Awesome.
It would be worth it either way.
Thank you, Cliff. It's a fun game. We should play it again soon. But
I agree.
Until next week, we'll see ya, and have a good week. Bye.